Actually made it to Hump Day. It's going to be a very exciting show. He first introduced us to his version of Bahamian Monopoly, and now he has reimagined a memorable card game. We see how one Bahamian put his spin on Uno. Also, we will check out what's new in fall trends and see what tourism is incubating for one particular project. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
At the signing of the $55 million loan agreement with the Saudi Fund for Development for the upgrading of the North Eleuthera Airport, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, remarked on the agreement as a step forward for travel to and from the Bahamas.
This is a fantastic day for North Eleuthera. Today marks a milestone not only for residents of Eleuthera, but for the entire Bahamas. Today's signing ceremony represents, as you've heard, the formalization of this $55 million facility on favorable terms, 2.5% interest rate, 25 years to repay. And get this, no payment for 5 years. In March of 2023, our administration, as you've heard, embarked upon our Family Island Airport Renaissance project. This far-reaching project is what we promised in our Blueprint for Change. And we will continue to work towards achieving these ends through partners internationally and locally, public and private. We're building a world-class facility. We're going to have the capability of accommodating 400 passengers a time in your departure lounge. Plus, there's going to be significant retail opportunities. The upgraded airport will continue to attract international airlift to North Eleuthera. And I want you to know that this is appreciated by all of Eleuthera, including Harbour Island and Spanish Wells, growing touristic hubs for our country. These projects reflect our commitment to ensure that every Bahamian, regardless of where they live, benefit from modern, reliable airport infrastructure. We are indeed building for the future.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
Many of you enjoy a good Uno game. I know some of you are very competitive and just can't get enough. Joining us now in studio to talk about his take on a popular game is Brian Jennings. Hi, Brian. How are you, and welcome.
Hi, Stacey. I'm fine. Thanks for having me.
We're so excited to have you here because I myself, I really love games in general. I love to have game nights, and I particularly like Uno. So tell me how you came up with this Bahamian version of Uno.
Well, I always liked to play Uno. That was one of my games, but some of my friends were trying to find out my name for it, the basketball team. I always used to say, I know. So I found that pretty catchy. That was always my favorite response. And even now, like Bahamians say, I know, and stuff like that. So it's like a Bahamian phrase along with a Bahamian game.
Yeah.
So.
Perfect combination.
Yeah, perfect combination.
Yeah, this is a really great idea. So how does this differ from the original version of Uno?
Well, you have specialty cards, like the horse and carriage.
I love this, the horse and carriage. So this is, the horse and carriage is kind of like draw two,
yeah, draw
right?
two.
Okay, yeah. So that's the horse and carriage there. And then?
You have the roundabout.
The roundabout, oh, love that.
Yeah, that's skip everybody.
Oh, this is the skip. Okay, you skip everybody, the roundabout.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the four, what is this, like the draw four?
Yeah, the bus.
It's the bus.
Yeah.
I love that. And then we have the
swap hands.
Swap hands. All right. What's the next one? Oh, the hurricane.
Hurricane.
All right. So that one is like
reverse.
Reverse,
Yeah.
of course. And then the wild card.
Wild card.
Yeah. So you can kind of choose what you want to do with that one. These are so wow, really exciting. How have people been responding to this?
Well, people they've been responding very well. When they see me out or they see me about, they'll be like, I really like the card game and stuff like that. And they always ask me about the Monopoly game and stuff. And even the college students, they use it as in between their breaks of class. They play it as well.
Sounds like a lot of fun. So you did, like you said, develop a version of Monopoly. So you've got a Bahamian Monopoly and you have this Bahamian version of Uno, I Know. Where can people find these?
Well, people can find the Uno at Logos Bookstore, Chapter 1 Bookstore, Quality Home Center, yeah, and yeah, that's about it.
And the Sports Center?
No, the Sports Center only has the next product that we are going to talk about.
Which is?
The Bahamian Crocs.
Okay, so the Bahamian Croc widgets, so Croc Charms, here they are, and I think these are super cute. So of course we've got the 242, the famous 242, you could not get around that. There's a flamingo there, there's a conch shell, a blue marlin, and of course we've got a pineapple. So what made you think of this? Such a great idea.
Well, it was, well, I started with the Junkanoo ones. I did the Junkanoo ones in the Christmas with volleyball, socks, and food to my family. So it was around Independence time, and I was like, I need something more patriotic. So I decided to do those ones as an Independence collection.
Nice.
And I see Crocs as a trending thing because I see them all the time downtown on the university campus. So I said maybe it'd be a good idea to produce more products like it.
Yeah, it's a great idea with an entrepreneurial spirit. So these are available at the Sports Center.
At the Sports Center.
Okay.
Logos Bookstore.
Logos Bookstore, Chapter 1, and Quality Home Center. So we can look out for these products. Let's go out there and help support one of our young Bahamian entrepreneurs. Brian, this is really exciting. I can tell you this is going to be in my home. We love Uno. We love playing board games, and we love new and exciting things. So after the break, Brian and I, we're going to play a little game here. We're going to try our hand at Uno, and we will have more in a moment. Don't go anywhere.
United together in our efforts to grow agriculture in the Bahamas and to achieve what we have determined to be our vision of 25 by 25, which simply reflects the fact and the initiatives we have in place to try to reduce our food import by 25% by the year 2025.
We're also proud of ourselves as a visionary nation, as a visionary people. President Xi Jinping is also regarded as a visionary and insightful world leader. We also set targets for ourselves.
So I'm back with Brian Jennings, who developed this Bahamian version of Uno, I Know, and he's going to show us how to play. All right, so Brian, tell me, that looks like a thicker deck of cards than a normal Uno game. So how many cards is that?
It's 140 cards.
Okay, so why so many cards?
I made so many cards because I wanted a lot more people to play.
Oh, so definitely like a family-style game. All right, so how would two people, how would we play a quick game of Uno? And I'm just warning you, I'm really good at Uno, okay?
I mean, we could cut the deck in half.
All right.
We cut the deck in half.
And then
we could just use this deck.
All right. So okay. you deal the cards.
I can deal the cards.
Okay.
So it's 7 cards per person.
Okay.
Like any normal card game.
Yes, most are 7.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so let me... Is this the one we flip? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
7?
I think.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more.
Okay.
I don't want to cheat. I don't want y'all saying I'm cheating up here when I win. All right, so let's go.
Okay. So
let's flip a card. We got to put them, you got to organize your cards together. I'm gonna show you all my deck. I got a good deck here. Don't let Brian see my deck. Don't cheat, Brian. Don't cheat. You created it. Don't cheat. Okay, so we're gonna flip it over. What's that? A 6?
Yeah.
All right. So who goes first? Me?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. Wait, but it has to be the same color. So, okay. There we go.
It's 2.
Okay. 5. All right. So we're gonna change the color. Yellow. Come on, you better pick that. See, you losing already, Brian. Come on. Oh, okay. All right, go ahead. All right, there we go. Come on, Brian. Come on. I'm winning already. I'm winning. Come on, you got 8. Oh, you wait. No, okay, you got me. Wild card, green.
I got the green.
Okay, you got green. All right, come on now. Come on. What you got? Oh, okay, all right. So now I got to pick. I'm talking junk and I'm losing. All right, go ahead. Can you go? Can you go, Brian? Can you go? What's happening? All right. No, okay, Brian, you got me picking up too many cards. Come on, we pick. You pick again. Come on, can you play? All right. Oh, good. All right, let's go. Come on, can you do it? Oh, you're picking up cards, you're losing, Brian. There we go, we're changing the color, go on. You got some green for us? You got something for us? Okay, no green. We're picking up, all right. Oh, look at that. Come on. You gotta pick up again. Your hands are getting full, Brian. How you create the game and you're losing? Come on, how you doing that? Come on. All right, changing the color. Come on, here we go. What you got? All right, what you got? You're losing, Brian, you're losing. Uno.
I know.
Yes, I have to say, I know. See, I would have lost the game right there. Okay, so you're next. What you got? You can't go? I win. Thank you. So exciting. That was really, really good. This is fun. Thanks again. Remember, you can go out there and get this game at Logos, Chapter 1, and Quality Home Fabrics. Don't forget your Bahamian widgets. You can get those at the Sports Center as well. Proud of you, young entrepreneur. This is really a lot of fun, Brian. We are often told that tourism is everybody's business, but who is responsible for being the link between the entrepreneurs in the tourism sector and the guests that comes to these shores? Well, the Tourism Development Corporation has a specific mandate that we are going to learn more about and a special pilot program now underway. Take a look.
The goal of the Tourism Development Corporation, our legislative mandate is how do we ensure that the $6+ billion that we talk about as a result of touristic activities, how does that trickle down into the hands of everyday Bahamians? And doing that, of course, in a very sustained way. We know the challenges ahead. We know the challenges that we've already faced, but confronting those challenges and doing everything that we can to lend support to those micro, small, medium-sized enterprises that absolutely want to participate in this space, in this industry.
Executive Director of the Tourism Development Corporation, Ian Ferguson, with a snapshot of what its overall mission is. The space he references, the Incubation Center.
It's really designed to be government-subsidized retail space for entrepreneurs, specifically in the tourism space. This space that we launched earlier this year really focuses on retail. Of course, the mindset, as per the Tourism Development Corporation's legislative mandate, is to encourage business owners in that retail space to really focus on producing indigenous, authentically Bahamian goods. We all know the historic challenge of so many artisans, entrepreneurs purchasing, mass-produced goods from other countries. But we really wanted a space dedicated to authentically Bahamian goods, where persons who were in that home business, in the micro business space, perhaps who were just doing the pop-ups, to actually have a location that they could really sell their ware and, in doing so, promote the Bahamas.
The Incubation Center's location is the one that Ferguson says was strategic.
As you know, there is a very concerted effort to bring back the magic of Bay Street, in particular the Eastern Corridor. And so our goal is to really target that large percentage of cruise passengers who've been indicating to us for some time that, there's very little to do, seeing if we could redirect some of that traffic into that space and really capture some of the attention of those passengers. So you will hear lots of conversations around food parks and green spaces and other kinds of immersion projects. So this retail or this incubation center is one of the many things that we have determined that needs to be done to start to drive some of that traffic. We want to bring life back to Bay Street from the bridge all the way to the Hilton and beyond. We want all of this area to be the buzzing business and tourism center that it used to be, certainly in my generation.
The first phase of this pilot program, Ferguson explains, has about 7 entrepreneurs in the retail space, but there are plans for expansion.
We're also looking now, certainly into the future, into those businesses that are perhaps more tour and excursion focused, that are more tutorial style, allowing persons, visitors to come and perhaps sip and taste. Perhaps, come in and actually do something in terms of making and experiencing in a very tangible way, in a very tactile way, what it is that we do, what makes us authentically Bahamian. So it is a 24-month process for those persons as they come into the incubation space, similar to what an incubation is, in the natural sense, supposed to do. You're supposed to come in, you're supposed to, as a fledgling young business, you're supposed to gain strength through all of the technical support that we provide, in addition to providing you with that space. But then you, as you grow, as you flourish, as you mature, you should then be in a position where you're able to relocate and someone else should be able to come in and occupy that space.
We'll be right back after this break.
Good to grow, keeping you in the know, keeping you in the know. God, it's good enough to eat, and it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, and it's good to grow.
With tongues wagging following the long-awaited cannabis parliamentary debate, President of Green Alternative Investment Cooperative, Terry Miller's excited to witness the bill's potential benefits.
GAIN is looking forward to having licenses in the industry. Of course, we know that several of those licenses are going to require partnerships with international organizations, maybe even down to security, because a specific type of security and transportation, how it is transported, how it is properly secured, growing, particularly in the greenhouse environment where the whole system has to be computerized.
The bills will legalize cannabis for religious purposes by allowing organizations to use it as a sacrament after obtaining a license. It also sets a regime that would oversee all aspects of medical cannabis regulation by including rules for handling and storing cannabis, managing medical dispensaries, and monitoring and evaluating the regime. Miller expresses, however, that the cooperative has its eyes set on taking advantage of all medicinal plants here in the Bahamas.
We want to look at the properties of these medicinal plants individually, look at the active ingredients, because there are certain plants for male enhancement plants, especially plants for flus and colds and a variety of ailments that we use traditionally.
He adds that they'll also conduct research on developing more things.
We're going to look at research on products, on developing new products. This is a, even though we are late in the game, it is still a new industry, and opportunities is vast. So research and development is still going to be a very high up on the ladder, and we want to be a part of that.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
Now, I can't really call them the new spot on the block, but our Bahama beauty had an opportunity to visit the local squash club to hear and see what all the buzz is about.
Y'all know I am always on the hunt to answer the hardest question after the 1 o'clock hour, and that is, what we eating? I'm here with Noel at Four Walls Squash Club, where they've just relaunched their lunch and dinner menu. So Noel, tell us about what's on the menu here at Four Walls Squash Club.
Well, first of all, welcome to Four Walls. Really excited to feed you today and to enjoy our lunch menu. We have a basic, simple formula for our lunch menu. We have soups, salads, sandwiches, and we think it's the perfect combination of simplicity, some healthy options, as well as some real comfort food. And, you know, our top sellers are really our homemade conch burger, where we make a conch patty that is a very unique conch burger, and it's delicious. Our chicken sandwich is classic. Our conch chowder, honestly, I think we have one of the best conch chowders on the island. It really is slapping.
Now, I read on your menu that you have smoothies for the healthy people. You have something to drink for the healthy folks. But what about people like me who coming in here for lunch and they lightheaded?
Well, you know, if somebody who does want an alcoholic cocktail at lunchtime, of course we have a nice wine selection, and we have some signature cocktails. Balls to the Wall is our classic Four Walls cocktail. Everybody recognizes it from the bright blue color from that blue curacao and the watermelon balls, actual fresh watermelon balls in that cocktail. But we also have non-alcoholic cocktails, something called a mango mint meltdown, which is delicious, a black pepper punch, which is a very unique bitter and sweet non-alcoholic cocktail. So we really just try to have diversity for persons, no matter what their appetite is. When they come at Four Walls, they'll have something that they can enjoy.
Now, I know that the squash club, obviously, is still a sporting club at the end of the day. But for those that want to just come from the game or just finish watching the game and want to hang back a bit, what other activities and specials do you guys have going on?
Well, our name is Four Walls Squash and Social Club on purpose, because while we are an athletic facility, we do play squash here, and we teach squash here as a different way to exercise. We also have fitness classes on Wednesday evenings. We have what we call High Octane Hump Day, and we have 2 fitness classes. And then we have a whole social calendar, and we're always having something going on at the club for just really quality, mature entertainment, for a professional crowd, in a real chill, cozy, classy atmosphere.
Now, one thing about me, when I love something, I can kill it. So tell me, do you guys have any rewards or loyalty programs?
Oh yeah, well, you know, the thing that makes us very unique is our menu, our delicious menu, our atmosphere, but also our community. And we like to give back to our community. So we do have a membership option that's free to join, and it's called our loyalty club. And when you join our loyalty club, you earn points every time you dine with us. After the 10th visit, you get a free lunch on us. And so through our loyalty membership club, we're always trying to find ways to build community and to give back to the community.
Now, I know once my people hear free things, they will be speeding to get here. So tell us all, how can we get to the Four Walls?
So we are located on Village Road. It's a big building. You drive around to the back or park in the front, but the entrance is to the back of the building upstairs. So when you enter our big orange door, you'll enter our little oasis. And trust me, if it's the first time you're visiting, you're going to be surprised by what you find when you walk through our doors.
Thank you, Noel, so much for allowing me to dine here with you guys at Four Walls Squash Club. Bring your cards. The business is completely cashless. And meet me on Village Road at Four Walls Squash Club for lunch and dinner.
Most companies are always looking for ways to pivot, and CBL is no different. In fact, they have taken one of their popular brand offerings and now have presented it to us in a new way. Take a look. Hennessy is a premier brand for CBL, and they are looking to introduce it to the public in innovative ways. Parise Johnson oversees the portfolio and talks about what we can expect as some familiar favorites are being reimagined.
So we did mention the pina colada, the espresso martini, that is usually made with vodka. So now to think about that with Hennessy is a little, out of the box, but I must tell you it's very, very good. One of the more simpler recipes that we can consider is also Hennessy, guava, and pineapple juice. So it's very fruit forward, very tropical, very refreshing. And it's not only focused on Hennessy VS, but it also includes VSOP and Pure White, who is, kind of like our forgotten child. So we're also making sure that we're keeping Pure White into that mix as well, and that we get that back into the taste and the profiles of our consumers, because it's definitely a cognac that mixes very well and one that goes a very, very long way.
And of course, it's a partnership to get the drinks in the hands of consumers, so bartenders are instrumental.
It's just based on their own creativity, however it speaks to them, and that's definitely what we love about this program. There are no stringent rules or regulations. You look at the product and however it inspires you, we encourage you to create that particular cocktail. You speak to your consumers and your those that are visiting your establishment, you speak to them through that product.
Johnson has this suggestion for consumers who may be a bit hesitant to try Hennessy in these new infusions.
I think it's important to step out of the box every now and again, be it a special occasion, be it a brunch occasion or happy hour, whatever it is. I know that people like Hennessy the way that they like Hennessy. Some like it a bit more fruity and sweet, some like it a bit stronger where you just have it on the rocks or neat. But I don't think that there's any harm in just trying something new. If you don't like it, that's okay, but someone beside you may. So I found at the bar tonight that there are a lot of people just trying new things. So this person would order this particular one, and then everyone else would order something different. And you just see straws going down the bar, and everyone's trying something different. And there are some that are just like, so like, this is my new favorite. So for me, I was more of like a pure white girly. And my new favorite is now an old-fashioned.
And let me tell you, those drinks are a must-try.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey, Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No. Let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs. Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
Shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do, ZNS Digital is home to the sunshine one.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.
That's ZNS Digital?
Yeah, that's ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
From June 1st to November 30th, the ZNS Radio and Television Network is the #1 source in the Bahamas for hurricane information before, during, and after a storm. Now is the time to choose your radio and television hurricane season ad packages. Get extra special rates and run the ads only when you want them to run. Call the ZNS sales office today at 502-3800.
So all good things must come to an end. Now for tomorrow's show, if you are looking for somewhere fun to go, we're going to take you to a little hideaway far west that is sure to have you considering the drive. Well, that's a wrap for Wednesday's show. Make sure to join us here at the ZNS Network tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Wondering where your favorite shows went? Well, they're still right here at ZNS with new times and some with new days. You can catch Chef Manny auditioning up on Mondays at 9:30 p.m. Shock Treatment gets your youth in order at 9 p.m. on Tuesdays. The Legal Brief with Ramona Farquharson brings you the best legal advice on Tuesdays at 9:30 p.m. And Gavel Slam, Case Closed. Justice for Judge Carroll is back on air Thursdays at 9 p.m. And on Thursdays at 9:30, Bonte and Nika B brings you The Drop. So welcome to the new ZNS, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Covering the news seems easy, but we put thought into what we're doing. The Bahamas Tonight Access Now, here to inform, educate, and entertain. A new type of newscast featuring social media trends, news from around the islands, interviews with the people you like, sports, weather, and fabulous entertainment. That's a Bahamas Tonight Access Now with Marcellus Hall and LaDon Davis. Live, starting September 16th.
I grew up in a home where my mother believed God and God only. So we grew up in church. We knew church.
His humble beginnings did not discourage his determination to reach the top. His contributions to his community, the Baptist world, and indeed the entire nation demonstrate his unwavering faith that God would lead him through. Many call him iconic because his strength has pushed him beyond barriers. We reflect on the life journey of Reverend Dr. William Thompson, President Emeritus of the Bahamas National Baptist Convention, visionary, sportsman, Junkanoo enthusiast, political figure, devoted father, and man of God. Join us on Sunday, September 29th at 7:30 p.m.
At the House of Assembly, I'm Lakush Lapinder. This is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Here's a look at stories making news tonight. Labor Minister addresses expats' treatment of Bahamian workers following the FCP chief resignation.
The public is weighing in on the pending fuel margin increase. Find out their reaction coming up.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition start now.
Our administration speaks to one of Bahamianization, ensuring that we're protecting our workers.
In response to the recent resignation of Freeport Container Port CEO amid serious allegations, the Minister of Labor and Public Service is emphasizing the government's commitment to protecting Bahamian workers. Good evening all, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks for tuning in. The minister says immediate actions were taken to address concerns while highlighting the launch of a new oversight unit aimed at ensuring accountability in the workplace. Raven Davis has the latest in this report.
The abrupt departure of Freeport Container Port's chief on Tuesday amid allegations of unscrupulous business practices has shocked the Grand Bahama community as the Davis administration aims to reinforce one of its core ideals of Bahamianization. Labor Minister the Honorable Pia Glover Roll says immediate action was taken even before complaints were formally lodged with the Department of Labor.
Taking a very proactive approach to labor, our administration speaks to one of Bahamianization, ensuring that we're protecting our workers and ensuring that where there are complaints, that we immediately galvanize into action.
She says the government is keen on eliminating expatriates who abuse Bahamian workers.
The government has gone to the extent of asking persons who are here on work permits, foreigners, expatriates, to wrap up their affairs and we give a timeline in which they are allowed to leave. It depends on how egregious the circumstances are.
Glover Roll adding that the Davis administration, through the Labor Department, has launched the first ever Notice of Vacancy Policy Enforcement Unit to strengthen oversight and accountability.
Enforcement is important because we've always said the Notice of Vacancy Unit has always existed. We've always said that there should be an understudy. But who's monitoring?
Wow.
This ensures that while there are heads of agreement that speak to the fact that, yes, you may bring in expatriate workers, we have to also ensure that where there are Bahamians who are qualified, where there are Bahamians who are in country, who are able, equipped, and qualified to take on those positions, that they are given the opportunities.
Now, according to official statements, the FCP chief departed due to family reasons. Meantime, PLP chairman, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, says moving forward, there is hope for improved employee conditions and a work environment that is free from hostility. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Thanks, Raven. Well, transformation is coming to two long-neglected areas in Freeport. According to the Minister for Grand Bahama, as part of our ongoing series, It's Happening. The Minister shares plans for a major facelift that aims to revitalize these blighted spaces.
I'm excited about the future of Grand Bahama Island.
Optimism continues to spread across Grand Bahama as the island gears up for a significant transformation. Communities like Garden Villas are set to experience a notable shift. The Minister of Grand Bahama says the neighborhood will soon evolve into a new development featuring both single and multi-family units.
Incredible infrastructure, parks, having it as a smart community, as well as having affordable homes for residents. And so there's going to be a lot of demolition that goes on in that area.
Earlier this year, the nation's leader announced the government's plan to acquire the Bazaar, as well as the Princess Tower and casino properties. These sites will be redeveloped into an Afro-Caribbean marketplace, a move that is expected to positively impact the island.
This Afro-Caribbean marketplace will be a game changer.
With an anticipated 6 million visitors expected by 2027, one question lingers.
What do we have to offer them when they come?
The minister asserts that the logistics of the new Afro-Caribbean marketplace will address this concern.
It's a touristic attraction that will feature 54 African countries, 20 Caribbean countries, and 16 islands of the Bahamas, where the best of what these countries have to offer will be on display in a permanent setting.
In a separate initiative, the Innovate 242 Incubator will be established at the former Royal Palm Resort on the Mall Drive, aiming to make Grand Bahama a leader in innovation and sustainability.
Which, will have the various government agencies that deal with small business development, as well as private sector business development agencies in one place where you can go and, come with your idea, and we help to bring it to life. So we'll have that, and then we'll also have our Center for Sustainability.
In the fourth installment of our It's Happening series, the minister discusses the significant impact the ministry has had on the orange economy. Well, in other news, the Grand Bahama Port Authority's Regulatory Committee has completed its initial review of the Grand Bahama Power Company's 2025-2027 rate plan and opened a 45-day public consultation period for feedback. Through a press statement, officials say GBPC's proposal submitted on August 1st, 2024 includes a 6.32% base rate increase across all customer classes, reductions in fuel charges for 2025, and the removal of the storm recovery charge by summer 2026. The plan also outlines $8.4 million in investments to improve system reliability, including infrastructure upgrades and battery storage for solar energy. While overall costs for the residential and large customers will see minimal changes in 2025, the highest projected increase will be 4% in 2026. The public is encouraged to review the rate plan summary on GBPA's website and provide feedback before the consultation period ends on November 4th, 2024. A final decision will be made by December 2nd, 2024. Well, it's an increase of another kind, but one petroleum retailers have advocated heavily for years, insisting they were not making enough to keep their businesses sustainable. Now, the nation's leader says their wish is being granted, with petroleum retailers set to gain a margin increase of 25 cents increase per gallon of gas and 15 cents per gallon of diesel. Cleopatra Murphy joins us live with the latest.
Well, Ramiko, it seems October 1st is being thrown around as the date for that pending fuel margin increase, but it seems the public is not too keen to be paying more at the pumps.
Keep the price low like how it used to be, considering we already dealing with inflation.
Everything going up, so you need your gas. Food going up, you need to eat, so you got to purchase it. So it is, you just have to maybe adjust.
I really got a road plan now. Can't be doing too much riding, eh?
It's a bunch of bull crap. That's just the easiest way to put it. It don't make no sense because, like, why you gotta go up on all these stuff, because it's already VAT inside the store. You only can pick up like 2 boxes of cereal and a milk for like $100. The economy isn't doing well enough for the rise in prices, If we're seeing more money, then prices being raised wouldn't be a problem.
Despite public reaction, General Manager at Freeport Jet Wash, Larry Albury, is breathing a sigh of relief.
Since 2011, we've had how many increases in insurance, how many increases in power, minimum wage has gone up. We want to pay everybody a nice salary to go home, but it's no way we can pay this unless we're making some kind of margin at the pump.
For Albury, the increase is a necessity. He says it's very expensive to run a gas station.
These dispensers, they're only good for so many years. You have to maintain them, fix them through all the walks of running them, they run through power. So I won't go there, but you have repairs. So it's going to greatly affect, and thank you very mumuch for your increase.
The last time petroleum retailers saw a margin increase was in 2011, where they received a 10-cent increase per gallon of gas and a 15-cent increase per gallon of diesel. Back to you, Remiko.
Just one station.
It's a story that you will only see on one station. A seasoned fisherman and former local manager of Deepwater Bone Fishing Lodge has yet again become the victim of thieves. Tonight, he is urging anyone with information about the theft of his boat to come forward. Yolanda Thompson Everest has this report.
He's a prominent resident of Sweetens Key, a man who continues to strive for the development of the island. For the past 5 years, fisherman Shervin Tate has been widely known for his singing to passengers on his Chiquita boat. But his heart was broken once he discovered that his livelihood was stolen yet again.
I, Robert Meadows, and the police officer, we went out to see, to look around the local area to see if probably someone would have been in the boat or probably ditched the boat someplace.
The boat is also used to transport government officials, tourists, and locals from Maclean's town to Sweetens Key, whether it be for local festivals, government services, or sightseeing.
That's the boat that Sweetens Key residents really rely and depend on because of the low cost, and I try to make it feasible for everybody.
Tate expressing yesterday he got the call by local authorities that his boat has been found in U.S. waters. While it is still unknown who was responsible for the stolen vessel, he remains hopeful that investigations will continue until the matter is resolved.
I just pray and hope those who took it is found, and I would like for them really to pay for what they have done.
Now Tate is calling for anyone with information to come forward as he calls for an end to acts of crime and criminality. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Yolanda Thompson Everest.
In news from the police on Grand Bahama need your help in identifying the person or persons responsible for stealing a white 24-foot center console Robalo R24-foot vessel with two 250 outboard engines from Clare Court off Bahama Reef between Sunday, September 15th, 2024 and Tuesday, September 17th, 2024. If you have any information about this theft or observed this vessel, please contact 911, 919 or the nearest police station in Grand Bahama. Furthermore, anonymous tips are encouraged and can be submitted to Crime Stoppers at 300-8476. While in a session at court number 2, 58-year-old Jeffrey Neely appeared before Senior Magistrate Charlton Smith facing charges, conspiracy to import dangerous drugs, specifically an unspecified quantity of cocaine, alongside unlawful entry and trespassing. Bail was granted to both men, Neely at $4,000 for conspiracy and unlawful entry and $1,500 for trespassing. Meanwhile, 38-year-old Paul Gomez, who appeared alongside Neely, is charged with unlawful entry and trespassing. Gomez pleaded not guilty and was granted bail in the amount of $4,000 for unlawful entry and $1,500 for trespassing. Both defendants, represented by K. Bryant Hanna and Nicholas Mitchell, respectively pleaded not guilty, resulting in an elected summary trial. Police confirmed that the investigations is ongoing with the expectation of additional charges and more suspects to be apprehended. The case is adjourned until November 25th, when both Neely and Gomez are expected to return to court.
And still to come.
When we come back,
medical science and health awareness should prevent men from dying of prostate cancer.
What you need to know to save a life, that story and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition returns.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
The Paint Fair family is excited to announce that they're rolling out to a new location soon. Stay tuned for grand reopening details and special giveaways. In the meantime, they are still operating on West Mall Drive while finishing up the renovations.
The Grand Bahama PLP Headquarters Benevolent Social and Outreach Committee presents Prayer Breakfast Celebration Saturday, September 21st at 8:30 a.m. at the Belinda Wilson Convention Center, BUT Hall. Guest speaker, the Honorable Reverend Ruby Ann Darling.
Grand Bahama, Wednesday, September 25th. We're remembering Obi with a One Love Gospel concert featuring Bishop Denzel Rowe, The Cooling Water, Oslin Jordan, Bishop Simeon Alton,
I'm pressing on.
West End Primary, Holmes's Rock Primary, Martintown Primary, and 8 Mile Rock High School. There'll also be special tribute. It's a One Love Gospel concert remembering Obi, September 25th at the 8 Mile Rock High School gym at 6:30 p.m. Be there.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. This Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, a local advocate is bringing attention to illness, all with the hope of saving lives. Cleopatra has the details.
Every 2 weeks, a Bahamian man dies from prostate cancer, while 1 in every 8 men will get the disease. A concerning statistic, though, is that number increases by more than 75% for black men. But advocate Don Mitchell says no man should be dying from prostate cancer in 2024.
We feel that medical science and health awareness should prevent men from dying of prostate cancer.
The disease forms when the cells of the prostate gland begin to grow out of control. It's rare in men under 40, and like with breast cancer, the presence of the BRCA1 and 2 genes can increase the risk of prostate cancer. Mitchell says symptoms like urinary incontinence, blood in the urine or semen, or pain or burning during ejaculation do not occur until it has spread.
Early detection is your best protection. Okay. However, in the particular case of prostate cancer, it is easy to detect early. Very easy. You do a simple PSA blood test and accompanied by the digital rectal exam.
While the digital exam is not popular among Bahamians, he's adamant it saves lives.
Guys, man up, get your test done. If necessary, do the required follow-up visits.
Us two host free clinics at 9 a.m. on the last Saturday of every month at Geneva's Wellness Center, and Mitchell is encouraging men to take advantage of the service. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Now it's time for the audience to ask GBPC.
How does Grand Bahama Power Company prepare for a hurricane?
That's a frequently asked question. So GBPC prepares for storm season beginning from the month of January to May, which is pre-storm season. This is the time that we take to review our playbooks and our procedures. These help us to determine what it is we should do and when we should do it. During the month of May, post into storm season, we then begin to monitor the weather forecast. This keeps us on our toes. We continue to watch the weather forecast and have frequent Charter Committee monthly meetings. This helps us to stay on task and also assess as conditions change. In the event we do incur a storm, we then conduct a lessons learned. Lessons learned help us to restore more safely and even quickly in the future.
And that's a look at stories making news. Jay, tell us what's happening in sports.
Remico High School volleyball is set to begin next week at St. George's Gym.
All right, we'll be ready. Sports is coming up next, but first, here's a check on your local weather forecast.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
See news in the making? Call us at 352-9713 or 359-5167, or you can email us at zns3news@gmail.com.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
The most important thing in life is family. And whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
One of the biggest decisions you will make when remodeling a kitchen is the design choice for your kitchen cabinets. Whether you want your kitchen to look modern or traditional, the Casablanca White Shaker cabinets will make a sound choice. Stop into Conrad Bahamas today and let them enhance your kitchen with the Casablanca White Shaker cabinets. At Conrad Bahamas, they also carry an array of Calacatta quartz countertops. Conrad Bahamas, Sandyport, Nassau, Freeport, Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Eleuthera.
Hey, y'all, what you doing? I'm reading an iVox book from the library. And I'm reading a Vox book. What? An iVox book is a storybook that moves with you. And a Vox book is a book that reads along with you. Ooh, let me see.
The Sir Charles Haywood Library introduces Vox and iVox reading books, a brand new collection of interactive reading technology, the first of their kind in the Bahamas for children. But wait, there's more. We're also introducing Overdrive, our digital library, where you can find books for teens, young adults, and the young at heart, with over 4,000 magazines for people of all ages and interests. Come on, bring your entire family. Swing by and give them a try. They're all available at the Sir Charles Haywood Library.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to sports. First in sports, the Grand Bahama Secondary School Athletic Association Senior Girls and Boys Volleyball Tournament is scheduled to begin September 24th through the 28th at St. George's Gym. LIS captured the girls' title last year against BMES and also won the boys' title against Sunland. Head coach Latoya Williams is hoping for the same success this time around.
Pretty much you're gonna try to see the same level of play. We're trying to get higher, but at the end of the day, I could coach, but I don't mean that the players are gonna come out there to practice. I give the opportunity, and I definitely wanted to play, but we're just gonna try out there and try to win again. The strengths is definitely the young ladies. They're coming out, they're consistent, and we have some nice rising stars coming out on the men's side names are being mentioned for a national team for volleyball juniors. So we have some good people. It just has to come out, the whole team has to come out there to practice when they need to.
Next in sports, Jonquel Jones and the New York Liberty defeated the Washington Mystics 87-71 to clinch sole possession of the league's best record and the top seed in the 2024 WNBA playoffs. At 32-7, the 2024 Liberty tied the 2023 team's franchise record 32 wins and clinched the team's second consecutive season with at least 32 wins. Jonquel Jones finished with 11.7 rebounds and 5 assists in that game. And finally in sports, scores from opening day of Abaco High School volleyball, SC Boodle Dolphins defeated Forest Heights in 2 straight sets in junior girls play. In the second match, Forest Heights came back to take down SC Boodle in 3 sets. And in the last match, Agape Christian Eagles was victorious against Forest Heights in senior boys play, winning 25-15 in set 1 and 25-16 in the second set. Now, volleyball action will continue on Friday at Grace Gym in Agape. Agape will take on Patrick J. Bethel in girls play. In junior boys action, Forest Heights will go up against Agape. Now, in senior girls play, Patrick J. Bethel will take on the defending champs Agape. And the feature game will see SC Boodle taking on Agape. And that's your Wednesday check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Your Facebook friend is up next. Be blessed.
We all need to save. Save time, gas, and money. Shopping at Save More can help you do just that. Make us your first stop for all your prescription needs and medical supplies. Get all your health and beauty items at the same time. And don't miss our huge choice of snacks to satisfy your cravings. And the largest vitamin selection and over-the-counter relief products. Need diapers and other baby care items? First stop. The new section for makeovers, cosmetics, and beautiful jewelry will make you sparkle for that next special event. Save More Drugs, your more store.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm self-insuring my investments, starting with this tarp.
We all remember the blue tarps after the storm. Let's make sure that we are covered with more than a tarp. Don't allow your investment to be at risk. Protect your investment with one of our insurance policies.
Nobody
does it better.
Here at Freeport Decorators, we have hundreds of products for you to choose from. Whether you're in the market for trophies, plaques, rubber stamps, corporate signs, any kind of interior signage, stamps, or seals, we're your one-stop shop. We feature glass, acrylic, crystal awards for every occasion. We build all the trophies here on site. Looking for a gift item? We feature pens, key rings, mugs, tumblers, barbecue tools, even bamboo cutting boards. Have something already? Bring it on down. Let us see if we can print that special something on it for you. Need a headstone? Memorialize the memory of your loved one with a beautifully lasered granite marker. Our store hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We focus on customization. So if you have an idea or a new concept, bring it on down or call us at 352-5557 or even WhatsApp your idea to us at 646-0777 and we will do our best to make your awards and recognition ideas a reality.
Jane Champagne and The Rhythm presents 102.7 The Rhythm turns 3, and it's a big performance with Taurus Riley live. Taurus Riley live. Oh yeah, the hitmaker, the reggae icon, Taurus Riley live. Saturday, December 14th at the Grand Lucayan Ballroom. Doors open at 8 p.m., showtime 11 p.m. For 102.7 The Rhythm. Big birthday party with Taurus Riley live. Get tickets online now. TheRhythm3.com. And it's a big performance. Taurus Riley. Brought to you by Jane Champagne and The Rhythm. Saturday, December 14th, 102.7 The Rhythm turns 3 with Taurus Riley live.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight starts in just a moment.
I grew up in a home where my mother believed God and God only. So we grew up in church. We knew church.
His humble beginnings did not discourage his determination to reach the top. His contributions to his community, the Baptist world, and indeed the entire nation demonstrate his unwavering faith that God would lead him through. Many call him iconic because his strength has pushed him beyond barriers. We reflect on the life journey of Reverend Dr. William Thompson, President Emeritus of the Bahamas National Baptist Convention, visionary, sportsman, Junkanoo enthusiast, political figure, devoted father, and man of God. Join us on Sunday, September 29th at 7:30 p.m. and on Sunday, October 6th at 7:30 p.m. for a Nation Builder from Hartswell, Exuma, right here on the ZNS Television Network. ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here, faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, a major contract signed today for Bahamar's expansion. Hundreds of millions more to be injected into the local economy. Also, summer recess ends for legislators who today tackles a bill for the management and operation of bridges. But the opposition has questions. And when the cost of living outpaces seed funding, the cry of some Junkanoo groups as the big showdown on Bay nears. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. A sprawling Cable Beach resort begins another multi-million-dollar chapter as it ups its game to enhance guest experiences and create hundreds of new jobs for Bahamians. Devontae Hanna has the details of tonight's top story.
By 2026, shovels will be in the ground for an expansion of the Bahamar property at a starting value of $350 million.
350 rooms. With 50 luxury residences. And we're positioned as another luxury of choice here at Bahamar, where we will position this property between our SLS and our ultra-luxury Rosewood at Bahamar.
That's Graham Davis, Bahamar president, who revealed the new hotel will sit on the vacant Malia property. At a heads of agreement signing at the Rosewood on Wednesday, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis and Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable Chester Cooper says 900 Bahamians will be employed through the construction and opening phases.
I've always said that one of the things that constrain our growth in the Bahamas is the lack of room inventory. And I'm delighted that the developer and Bahama are responding to this need for additional room inventory.
The Bahamas is off of a marquee year of tourist arrivals, besting pre-pandemic levels, coupled with $10 million of investment in country in 3 years. During the week of his 2021 election anniversary, Prime Minister Davis says he's more than happy that the economy is trending in the right direction.
This dawn of a new chapter for Bahama is a signal to the world that the Bahamas is open for business, ready to embrace new opportunities and steadfast in our vision of sustainable growth.
And Tourism Minister Cooper says the focus is to get more heads in bed.
We're looking to get more deeply into the South American market. We're in discussions actively with a few of the major airlines that service that area. and we're also in active discussions with airlines out of the Middle East.
And developers promise that the project will be both beautiful and luxurious, but a key priority is to ensure that the development is both environmentally sustainable and climate resilient.
We're using sustainable resources on construction, certainly through the efforts of what we have planned for the future in our water consumption, energy consumption. We're focused as a Bahamar enterprise to work on being carbon neutral.
Bahamar does not have a brand partnership for the property, but expects it to be completed by 2029. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Devontae Hanna.
Well, thanks, Devontae. The financial services sector has for decades been the country's second largest industry, right behind tourism. It's been the second largest driver of the economy. But in recent years, the industry has faced some challenges. And for a sector with trends evolving nearly at the speed of lightning, staying ahead of the curve is a necessity. Corval Pyfrom reports on how growth and innovation are being pushed at this year's Nassau conference.
The country's financial services industry remains strong. The jurisdiction offers political and economic stability and a robust legislative framework. Notwithstanding the message at the 19th annual Nassau Conference, the leading gathering of industry stakeholders presented by the Association of International Banks and Trust Companies, is neither the Bahamas nor its financial services professionals can afford to rest on their laurels. Growth and innovation are what's being pushed at this meeting of the minds.
What is good about the Bahamas is that industry has, a working relationship with the policymakers, and we are able to meet with them on a regular basis, share ideas. And so when we come to a conference like this, a lot of those ideas have been discussed and positions taken, and then we are able to feed those to younger members coming through.
Both Economics Minister Michael Alquitas and Attorney General Ryan Pinder, seasoned in the industry, say it's essential the Bahamas remains competitive.
I think what we are lacking a little bit in is our outreach. And I think that we need to, and that's not merely a government thing, because Minister Alquitas does very well in sponsoring and being exposed in these large conferences and traveling into the key marketplace. But we really, as I said on my speech today, we really want the industry to come out in mass as well. When we were most successful in innovating and growing new products and accessing new industries, it was a collective effort. The government certainly put its support behind it, whether that be in sponsorships, or that be in new products, or that be in getting expert advice. But industry also came in mass, and that proved our competency.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfrom.
In other news this evening, a group of officers appearing before the coroner today in relation to several cases involving police-involved killings. Danielle Dean fills us in.
Some 12 officers involved in matters before the coroner's court, where jurors returned a homicide by manslaughter verdict, were each granted $9,500 bail with one or two sureties Wednesday by Coroner Cara Turnquest DeVoe. The cases date back to March of 2022 up to July of this year, involving deceased persons Azario Major, D'Angelo Evans, Shanton Forbes, Valentino Johnson, Gino Finley Jr., and Elron Stubbs. During the proceedings, a warrant of arrest was issued for two other officers who did not appear in court. One of the officers was reportedly out sick, but there was no sick slip before the court, while the other officer is believed to have absconded. Now, none of the officers were in court when the matter got underway at 11 o'clock this morning, and the marshal suggested that it was an act of defiance, prompting the coroner to adjourn the matter for 10 minutes. When the case resumed, the 12 officers were present in court. All these cases will now be forwarded to the Director of Public Prosecutions, who will determine whether or not they will proceed with prosecution or discontinue the cases. Reporting live in studio for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Now, today's court appearance of the officers, coupled with the ongoing investigation into corruption allegations against a senior police officer, only bruising the integrity of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Addressing the issue head-on during his appearance Monday on the Rundown with Clint Watson, Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis stressed that the need to restore the public's confidence in the RBPF is paramount, and he's determined to ensure that happens.
One of the critical factor of effective policing is for the public to have confidence in the police force, because it is the public that you rely on to provide you with intelligence. It's the public you rely on to assist you in detecting crimes. It's the public you rely on to help you with preventing of crime. And where there's that lack of trust and confidence, you will have this breakdown. So they are rightly concerned about what is happening in the police force. Me too, I'm concerned. But there's a process. We have to allow the process to be carried out. I want to assure the Bahamian public that that process will be carried out with integrity and with objectivity, and the results will be known and the chips will fall where they may.
Now, as for the ongoing war on crime, the homicide count nears 90. The Prime Minister acknowledged that while incremental improvements have been made, the challenge has been violent crime with the use of guns. Still, he expressed confidence that the war will be won. Coming up, the House of Assembly reconvenes after the summer recess. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
At Commonwealth Bank, we offer affordable and flexible choices to get you back to financial fitness. Our personalized debt consolidation solution is built to fit any financial situation. One easy-to-handle monthly payment reduces your monthly expenses and gets you back on track to savings. Life is great when you're not weighed down by debt. Consolidate and live your best life with Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking services.
Whether you're crossing borders or navigating busy airports, with BTC's reliable data roaming, you're always in touch. In a fast-paced world, staying connected is key. Don't miss important moments. Stay connected effortlessly with BTC, wherever your journey takes you.
Finger-licking good.
Welcome to our SBDC Business Tips, where we share valuable insights with small business owners. From practical advice to actionable tips, we're here to support you on your journey to success. Stay focused on your goals. Set clear, achievable goals for your business and stay focused on them. Ensure that your goals are realistic and attainable within a given time frame. Break down your goals into smaller, actionable steps and track your progress regularly. Stay disciplined and avoid getting distracted by shiny objects or chasing after too many opportunities at once. It might mean turning down opportunities that don't align with your objectives, but it's crucial to remain faithful to your initial goals and seize opportunities that resonate with your original vision. We hope you find these business tips helpful. To help your business reach its full potential, visit SBDCBahamas.com or give us a call at 242-461-SBDC.
Portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
You're looking at a live shot at the historic British Colonial Hotel at 1 Bay Street. Welcome back. The last thing Bahamians want to hear is talk of another fee, some other reason to dig deep. And Works Minister, the Honourable Clay Sweeting's getting it out the way quickly that when a proposed amendment to the Bridge Authority Act gives that body the leverage to own, manage, and own any of the country's 40 bridges, this does not translate into an automatic toll being imposed on taxpayers. That is, outside of the money paid at the Sydney-Poitier Bridge. But rather, the whole idea is to ensure these structures, a lifeline to some communities, remain safe and function. And this particularly as family islands are increasingly becoming destinations of choice.
We are looking at 7 bridges across the country, and ACRO is looking at putting a package together so that hopefully we can, with the approval of funding, have bridges across our country, like in Andros and Exuma, that their lifespan has almost deteriorated to the point where it's kind of scary for people to drive across these bridges. And we're hoping to finish that package this year, and hopefully once the funding is approved, we can get to moving on some of these. If we ensure that infrastructure is in place and properly maintained, we create better environments for investments and visitors alike, allowing for an even more robust economy for residents.
But while acknowledging that maintaining the country's infrastructure should be a key goal, opposition MP Crazy Thompson says what's on the table raises questions.
Which properties are anticipated going into the Bridge Authority? I think the member for Central and South Eleuthera, as far as I can recall, only made mention of the bridge in Eleuthera being as their intention on putting that in under the Bridge Authority. Well, is that the only one that you intend on putting in the Bridge Authority? What other bridges do you intend on owning under this Bridge Authority? What other bridges do you intend on constructing under the Bridge Authority? What other bridges do you intend on operating under the Bridge Authority? Do you also anticipate bridges on other islands outside of Eleuthera?
Well, a backlog in promotions within the public service leading to what Public Service and Labor Minister, the Honourable Pia Glover-Roll, loosely calls a hollow middle. And the fact that there was no succession planning is to blame. But the government, she says, is addressing this, particularly through legislative reform.
We have to ensure that we are making room at all levels for persons that are required, and be ensuring that the persons at the top levels are ensuring understudies are understanding their roles. But that comes back to monitoring and evaluation. We have to manage our organizations and our employees. It doesn't happen on its own. We have to have strategic structures in place. We have to ensure that as we're identifying career paths and as we're opening establishments, and that's a term that means how many persons are required for a specific spot or position in a ministry, that we're training persons to go to the next level, that we're encouraging persons to upskill to be able to move to the next level. I think there was a gap in that happening in our public service where it almost was just wheels were turning on their own.
Well, the government seed funding cannot match the cost of Junkanoo itself. This much coming from leader of the Body of Christ Crusaders, Kingsley Ferguson, who says all groups are in need of more money. His comments follow the government's decision to allot $30,000 to both factions of the Valley Boys, prompting him to ask for his portion.
Well, to be frank with you, Junkanoo is extremely expensive. The seed funding that we're currently receiving now, the cost of living has outpaced that. So what we were capable of achieving with $15,000, we can no longer achieve that. And so if big groups can get to the tune of $50,000, $60,000, it's a start.
The Chinese community here in the Bahamas coming together to celebrate the founding of the People's Republic of China, a significant chapter in that nation's history. We hear more from our Devontae Hanna.
We are now here at the Margaritaville for the 75th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. Right now, at this moment, the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, has mounted the stage, and he's extended his congratulations to the People's Republic of China. But tonight also doubles down as the celebration for the assumption of office for Her Excellency Ya Jianguang, who is the 10th ambassador to the Bahamas, as well as just the second woman to assume this office. Of course, at this moment, there are dozens of cabinet ministers here, as well as a lot of other high-ranking officials from both the Chinese and the Bahamas. And tonight, it's all about the celebration of the Chinese culture, the rich history, and the vibrant economy of that nation. And tonight, we expect to hear from the ambassador herself, who will speak about extending relationships between the two countries as it relates to the economy, as well as for exchange programs and a whole host of other things that we'll get more into at 11 o'clock. So from right now, see you later. I can say it in Chinese. Makushlipa, back to you.
Well, thanks, Devontae. Stay with us. There is still much more to come after the break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Full Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Marco's, the pizza that's perfect for every party, every moment, and every occasion.
Over a decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long. Yet, the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
One of the biggest decisions you will make when remodeling a kitchen is the design choice for your kitchen cabinets. Whether you want your kitchen to look modern or traditional, the Casablanca White Shaker cabinets will make a sound choice. Stop into Conrad Bahamas today and let them enhance your kitchen with the Casablanca White Shaker cabinets. At Conrad Bahamas, they also carry an array of Calacatta quartz countertops. Conrad Bahamas, Sandyport, Nassau, Freeport, Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Eleuthera.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Junkanoo offers many opportunities for business ventures. Here's West Calix Forbes with a Bahamian hoping to expand her new Junkanoo business.
Junkanoo Jitney is a unique bus tour that immerses guests, usually students, in a complete Junkanoo experience to learn all about how Junkanoo goes from concept to Bay Street. The two main stops on the tour are Valley Boys Junkanoo Shack and Dungalik Studios. Now founder and CEO of Junkanoo Jitney, Rondi Trico, wants to cater to tourists.
Junkanoo is an art that has been in our society for, hundreds of years. And the only way for us to continue with this is to maintain the tradition, is to give back to the people that are coming behind us. So for me, it was to create a buzz and get the kids to be more excited about Junkanoo and let them know that there's so many more things that you can do to contribute to Junkanoo in the country. We have decided to open it up to the tourist market, and our goal is to show the world how much goes into creating a Junkanoo parade and how we get from the shack to the street.
When asked what will the funding from the TDC be used for, Trico shared for expansion and branding.
I've been doing this by myself for the past couple of years, and building a company is not easy, obviously, and especially going into the tourist market, I needed capital. So one of the things that I thought is it would be a good opportunity to go in the TDC program because they were giving grants, not loans, and I felt like it was a good opportunity to get some startup capital. One of the things that I would like to do is have the bus wrapped. Currently, we only do it on a main jitney.
Trico ended positively, sharing encouraging word for future business owners in the tourism field.
Write down your goals, try to have a successive plan, try to make achievable goals, start small, and eventually something small will turn into something big as long as you put your focus and energy into it.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
And that brings us to LaDawn and Marcellus, who are standing by to give us a sneak peek of our new show, Access Now. Guys?
Makushla, I know your kids and kids around the country are going to love this show because Marcellus and I are going to learn how to design Crocs. Marcellus, do you have a pair?
I do not have a pair, thank you very much. They don't make those in a size 14.
Oh, wow. Well, looking forward to seeing that story. Stay with us. Our featured story is up next.
Begins with me. In a world full of noise, I close my eyes. I'll be the calm in a raging storm. Choosing love in every word, in every deed.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Get ready to learn all about digital payments and embrace the future of finance. Ditch the old and say hello to new, faster, and safer ways to pay. Join us next week. Check in with your personal bank, credit union, or digital wallet provider to learn everything you need to know about going digital. To learn more, visit us online at livedigitalbahamas.com and on social media. The future of pay is digital. See you next week.
Together in our efforts to grow agriculture in the Bahamas and to achieve what we have determined to be our vision of 25 by 25, which simply reflects the fact and the initiatives we have in place to try to reduce our food import by 25% by the year 2025.
We're also proud of ourselves as a visionary nation, as a visionary people. President Xi Jinping is also regarded as a visionary and insightful world leader. We also set targets for ourselves.
We've got a question for you. Is Bahamian dialect dying? And if so,
how do we keep it alive? One cultural icon and educator believes that she has the answer. Mauritian Barrows has the story.
My favorite Bahamian word would be mother sick. We use it daily. We all have our favorite version.
It's between boy and mother sick. Mother sick. I like mother sick better.
Either bay or you stupid, eh?
My friend wants like, you are right, oh friend.
Mother sick, bay. I ain't gonna lie, right? Bahamian dialect is definitely something that we use in our everyday language. But do we truly understand the meaning behind the words we use?
Gee, I have a special love for boy. Yeah, boy. I think that is so beautiful and so uniquely Bahamian. And it's not bay, it's boy. And when we figure out how to spell that and we standardize that, the spelling, we'll be good to go.
While Bahamian dialect may have many variations, it still has one main role, uniting Bahamians. That's why Director of Educulture Bahamas, Arlene Nash Ferguson, believes preservation of the dialect is most important.
The textbooks that we have, for the most part, assume that the child's first language is standard English. And in many households in the Bahamas, that is not necessarily the case. Standard English is not their first language. That is not what they're hearing in the home. That's not what they're hearing in their community. And so we need to start to embrace it so that the children will learn to translate from Bahamian English to standard English. But for that to happen, we need the textbooks to guide the teachers. Yeah, boy.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Mauritian Barrows.
And that does it for the National Report. Stay close. The Bahamas Tonight. Access now starts now.
At the signing of the $55 million loan agreement with the Saudi Fund for Development for the upgrading of the North Eleuthera Airport, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, remarked on the agreement as a step forward for travel to and from the Bahamas.
This is a fantastic day for North Eleuthera. Today marks a milestone not only for residents of Eleuthera, but for the entire Bahamas. Today's signing ceremony represent, as you have heard, the formalization of this $55 million facility on favorable terms, 2.5% interest rate, 25 years to repay. And get this, no payment for 5 years. In March of 2023, our administration, as you've heard, embarked upon our Family Island Airport Renaissance project. This far-reaching project is what we promised in our Blueprint for Change. And we will continue to work towards achieving these ends through partners internationally and locally, public and private. We're building a world-class facility. We're going to have the capability of accommodating 400 passengers a time in your departure lounge. Plus, there's going to be significant retail opportunities. The upgraded airport will continue to attract international airlift to North Eleuthera. And I want you to know that this is appreciated by all of Eleuthera, including Harbour Island and Spanish Wells, growing touristic hubs for our country. These projects reflect our commitment to ensure that every Bahamian, regardless of where they live, benefit from modern, reliable airport infrastructure. We are indeed building for the future.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
Bahamas, are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music group, along with Alpha Sounds, present the best of the best. Raking Straight Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Abby, Mama D, Fan Sean, Shine 242, The Falcon, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Races Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack locations. General admission, $60. VIP, Skybox, and Skypods also available. For more info, call 394-0819 or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Experience the magic once again with more legends for one night only. Come party with us November 2nd at Best of the Best. Break and Scrape Explosion Reloaded.
Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, that's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
With tongues wagging following the long-awaited cannabis parliamentary debate, President of Green Alternative Investment Cooperative Terry Miller's excited to witness the bill's potential benefits.
GAIN is looking forward to having licenses in the industry. Of course, we know that several of those licenses are going to require partnerships with international organizations, maybe even down to security, because a specific type of security and transportation, how it is transported, how it is properly secured, growing, particularly in the greenhouse environment where the whole system has to be computerized.
The bills will legalize cannabis for religious purposes by allowing organizations to use it as a sacrament after obtaining a license. It also sets a regime that would oversee all aspects of medical cannabis regulation by including rules for handling and storing cannabis, managing medical dispensaries, and monitoring and evaluating the regime. Miller expresses, however, that the cooperative has its eyes set on taking advantage of all medicinal plants here in the Bahamas.
We want to look at the properties of these medicinal plants individually, look at the active ingredients, because there are certain plants for male enhancement plants, especially plants for flus and colds and a variety of ailments that we use traditionally.
He adds that they'll also conduct research on developing more things.
I'm going to look at research on products, on developing new products. This is a, even though we are late in the game, it is still a new industry, and opportunities is vast. So research and development is still going to be a very high up on the ladder, and we want to be a part of that.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
Junkanoo seed money definitely in the news this week. Who's talking about it now? The details straight ahead.
Plus, the Ministry of Tourism assisting small businesses. It's competition time, so stay close.
And Marie Davis says it's buckets for climate change. Sounds interesting.
And in sports, the Bahamas Bowl is back, baby.
Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
Good evening, I'm Marcellus Hall.
And I'm LaDawn Davis. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
And looking lovely as always, LaDawn, I may add.
Thank you.
Before we get to any of that, though, let's dive right into the news. Junkanooers are pleading for more funds ahead of upcoming Junkanoo parades, arguing that times are hard and supplies are far more expensive. They are raising an eyebrow on the recipients of that seed money as well. Devontae Hanna took the time out to speak to some of them and file this report.
Leader of the Body of Christ Crusaders Junkanoo Group, Kimsley Ferguson, is calling for an increase in government seed funding, noting the cost of living has outpaced the amount Junkanoo Groups received.
What we were capable of achieving with $15,000, we can no longer achieve that. And so if big groups can get to the tune of $50,000, $60,000, it's a start.
According to the Ministry of Culture, groups in the A Division receive $30,000, groups in the B Division receive $15,000, D and F Division groups receive $1,500 and $2,000 respectively.
There are a number of groups, particularly I want to speak to the Body of Christ Crusaders that I coordinate, that are very, very, very challenged with funding. And so if there's additional monies, like Barabbas indicated the other night, we would like to get our portion.
Ferguson's plea came in response to the Valley Boys under the leadership of Trevor Davis receiving $30,000 seed funding, even though JCNP rules state they are ineligible of competing in the upcoming parade season as an A-division group. He believes the Minister of Culture's decision was influenced by other factors.
The government seems to be able to conveniently find funding at their women fancy, where when they speak of the out of the other side of their mouth, the government appears to be break. And so for persons that are not meeting the criteria for Junkanoo parades, so to speak, based on who you are, these days it appears as if you can get what it is that you're requesting.
Despite the outcry, the Valley Boys in a statement revealed they remain resolute in preparing for the upcoming parade season. Dion Miller, president of the JCNP, though, remains unfazed and is echoing the same of Ferguson.
If you want a public opinion, I believe every Junkanoo group should receive $250,000 A group, $100,000 for the B group, and so forth.
The Valley Boys, led by Brian Adderley, will represent the group in the A division. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Devontae Hanna.
The Deputy Prime Minister calls it the Bahamian Shark Tank, and the Tourism Development Corporation has now launched the second phase of its venture pitch competition for 2 other family islands. West Calix Forbes has the details.
The venture pitch competition was launched by the Bahamas TDC earlier this year and has already covered Grand Bahama, Exuma, and New Providence. And now Abaco and Bimini will have the opportunity to pitch their businesses.
We are proud to announce today that the competition moves to the islands of Abaco and Bimini. The 50-50 Venture Pitch Competition is a program that encourages the participation of upcoming or existing micro-businesses within the tourism sector to present their business models for professional scrutiny and consideration for prizes that include funding and very valuable industry training and mentorship.
When it comes to training and mentorship, the DPM shares that Abaconian and Bibonites should expect development of entrepreneurial skills, increased touristic opportunities, specifically for tours and excursion businesses, and many, many more.
The important and useful training is for all participants, as the 2-week training curriculum will be conducted by the University of the Bahamas and will cover introduction to business, finance, marketing, the use of technology, including AI, to construct business plans, visual presentations, and social media management. You would be able to consider winning this pitch competition an endorsement, which would get you certainly in the doors at an accelerated pace with some of our other counterparts who provide funding and entrepreneurial support.
First place winner is expected to receive up to $10,000, second place winner $8,000, and third place winner will receive up to $6,000. For the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
Thanks, Wes. Well, the American Medical Women's Association and Global CSR have partnered with the Disaster Risk Management to donate buckets filled with essential items. This initiative also now aims to support women and children affected by disasters in some of the country's most vulnerable areas. 1,000. Okay.
And it's a blanket and all the items this time we came up together is going to help women and girls in low socioeconomic status to be able to protect them from climate change impacts, such as pollution, such as disease, and all the climate change crisis impact had the most impact on women and girls. So that's why we dedicated to helping them and supporting them with very practical solutions that they can benefit directly.
Now, 1,250 buckets containing a safety mat, a thermometer, hug pillow, and soap were all donated. These buckets will be kept at various shelters and distributed in times of crisis, as explained by Alexander Storr, who's the chairman of Disaster Risk Management Authority.
The buckets, as you see, the contents are geared towards women and children. And so we've decided that in times of disaster, once we have women and children within the shelters, the buckets will be distributed amongst them to help and make their stay more pleasant.
And still to come, our guest is live in studio waiting to bedazzle some Crocs. So keep it locked.
Hey, Mom, can you look after Kaylee?
Sorry, I'll be out for a while doing my home and car insurance.
What? You know there's a newer way, right?
A new way?
Where have you been? Look, go to newerinsurance.com, log in, get your quote, buy your insurance, done. You can even use it to manage your claim.
Oh? By the way, it's not newer. It's N-U-A. Where's she been?
Do it anyway with NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at the service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you could be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk or catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one in your car, say bop, and you could be mad at us. You could be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, diesel, one word, diesel. You got up, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
Experience the difference with BTC's fixed services. Whether you're working from home or enjoying family time, BTC ensures you're always in touch with the people and moments that count. BTC isn't just a service, it's a lifestyle. Stay connected, stay inspired, and live your best life. BTC.
And right now you're looking at a live shot of Fort Charlotte near downtown New Providence. Lots of history there.
That was such a great shot there, Marcellus. And the last edition of WealthWise Lano Corporate Services gives us a closer look at trust funds. Tonight, we'll explore how setting financial goals can lead to better decisions and a more secure future.
In today's fast-paced world, managing money can often feel overwhelming. But one key to staying on top of your finances is setting clear and achievable financial goals. Cleora Farquharson, Leno VP of Business Development and Client Relations, shared why having a roadmap can make all the difference.
When you don't have clear financial goals, you run the risk of spending out of control. And also, too, I find that clients that don't have financial goals, they get themselves into a cycle of debt.
So whether it's cutting back on unnecessary expenses or choosing to save instead of spend, having goals make those choices easier and more rewarding.
A budget is the foundation or cornerstone to financial success. It's a simple document that shows you what you have coming in, that's income, and what you have going out. When you're equipped with this information, you better be able to track your expenses and then identify any savings that can go towards your financial goals. The second thing that you would need to do is to build an emergency fund. At the end of the day, financial emergency will arise, whether it's a medical emergency or a death in your family. What I would recommend for you to do is, if you have current debt loads, what you need to do is to set a plan to pay down all of those debt. Fourth thing, you need a proper financial retirement plan.
So, be smart about your financial goals and follow the SMART goal-setting framework.
First and foremost, S, specific. Your financial goal needs to be specific and not vague. Don't make a statement like, I want to be rich. What you need to say is, at the age of 65, I want to accumulate at least $500,000. M, it should be measurable. If your financial goal is to get out of debt, you need to break that down. A, achievable. At the end of the day, your financial goal must be realistic. R, it must be relatable. To thine own self be true. Make sure that your financial goals are relatable to you and not someone else. T, it must be time-bound. What you need to do is to put a time frame around your financial goals so that it makes you accountable.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Devontae Ham.
Well, in an effort to curb the rising number of traffic fatalities, police on the island of Eleuthera holding a joint speed check operation. The settlement of Lower Bogue saw a bit more action than normal earlier today when officers of the Traffic Division, Eleuthera and New Providence, cited a number of drivers who were exceeding the speed limit. This exercise was done to bring about awareness to the amount of speed-related serious and fatal accidents. Besides speed, drivers there were also cited for other offenses. Speed thrills, but it also kills. We'll leave you with that thought. Going to turn things over now to LaDawn Davis, who has Clementra McCoy from 4 Queens Bedazzled.
Marcellus, let me tell you, the comfortable footwear known as Crocs has been making waves in the fashion world for years now and has become quite popular among kids and persons in the medical field. Well, tonight we're going to get a good lesson on how to design them. Joining us tonight in studio is owner of the 4 Bedazzles, that's Clementra McCoy. Clementra, welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
Thank you.
So tell us, I know you have a popular family background. You're related to the late Simpson Penn. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, so the late Captain Simpson Penn was my grandfather, and persons would know him from the Boys Brigade, as well as the, well, at that time, the Boys Industrial School, which has been renamed after him. So, yes, I have a legacy.
So talk to us a little bit about sewing and designing. I know you have a passion for that. Where did all of that come from?
So I like to work with my hands. I love Christmas. As a matter of fact, in October, I'm going to start decorating. But it came from just wanting to save money and wanting to utilize my just design skills. So apart from loving Christmas and wanting to decorate, like you said, Crocs are the most comfortable wear there are, but I think that they're so ugly.
Oh, wow.
Because they're boxy. And so my goal in 2022 was to try and find a way to just make them look a little bit more blinged out.
Jazzy. Yeah.
Jazzy, correct. And I have a saw in Tennessee who actually gave me the idea when she was going to Boulay. And she said, Clem, maybe, you know, do something with the Crocs. And I started researching it, and I saw someone in the U.S. had done it, and I started going on, looking at it, and 2 years later, here we are.
So tell us, I know you said 2 years later, so talk to us about how has business been so far? Who have you been able to target? Kids, persons in the medical field, who have you been able to target?
So all. We know that Crocs belong to the teenage years, right? That group of kids. But we have adults who also wear them. Of course, I have from the sorority line.
Oh, yes,
so I have AKAs who've gotten theirs done, Deltas who've gotten theirs, and of course from Zeta Phi Beta sorority. This is actually a Crocs that would have been done for a nurse, and if you can see here, it says cute nurse. And what we do is we ask you, what is it that you want? We make your vision come to life. If you look at my daughter's shoes, she has on a pair of Barbie Crocs, booked and busy. So it just depends on what the customer wants. They tell us their vision and we make it come to life. And we do the exact same thing for what we call the Chuck Taylors.
What have you seen the most of, and what have the, I guess, parents been saying that they want for their kids?
Not necessarily parents, but just in general, themes. So for example, it's a learning curve for me too, because I didn't know about rod wave. I still don't really know much about rod wave, but I had to learn because there was a client who wanted their Crocs done in rod wave. Apparently this is a famous singer or whomever. And I went on, researched who he was, the look, and we came up with a rod wave pair of Crocs. And the thing about the Crocs is that you're not gonna see another one like it because it's your vision, it's what you want. So once we do it, you're not gonna see a replica. So it says LaDawn.
Okay.
In Z5B,
yes,
or whatever your name in Zeta Land is, then that's going to be unique to you. But it's going to be unique to you. And that is the beauty of the Crocs. So you're now taking them, like I said, from blah to bling or bedazzled.
All right, so I'm going to let you give us a little demonstration on how we can actually design our Crocs. I was trying to get Marcellus in on this. Marcellus, I'm sure you're watching to see how we're going to design the Crocs. So tell us, give us your tips on how you make it bedazzled.
So what we've already done, and Adassa usually helps me, is we've already prepped the shoe in terms of sanding it, getting rid of all the debris, cleaning it and everything. So it looks, that's how it looks in its raw form, okay? And you're going to put on a pair of gloves. Put on your gloves. And once you have on your gloves, because the glue is industrial strength, because once you put on the gems and the writing and everything, you don't want anything falling off. And, got it?
I'm getting it. I think I'm getting it. Yeah.
Oh gosh, one finger.
Yeah.
So while the Dawn does that,
yes.
You can, once we start with division, there's a lot of prep work. For example, on this shoe here, this is my name in Zeta Land, Blue Symphony.
Okay.
So my actual name is on here.
Okay.
Along with some of the musical symbols.
Okay.
And some of the Zeta symbols as well. So, let's just say this person wants a pink theme. We have all variations of pink here.
Okay.
We actually have some letters, we have a flower, and we have what is called a picker.
Okay. And pink is the breast cancer awareness too.
Correct.
So, yeah. Okay, so that's awesome.
So we have...
I'm gonna take this off. I don't think this is working for me. But you can still show me. Go ahead.
So what you're gonna do, here you go.
Okay.
You're going to just put a little bit of glue on, anywhere, not a lot. So you're just gonna use your syringe.
Okay.
Okay, spread on your glue.
Okay.
Okay, and once you spread it on, you're gonna pull it back so that you have no wastage.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And then you're gonna use your picker. So use the tip of your picker.
This one?
Right.
And right here.
And you're gonna just go ahead. You see how I got that up? Now, I usually... Correct.
Oh, cool.
Correct.
Oh, cool.
So I usually have a little drawing already out, especially if the customer already tells me what they want.
Look, you guys, I did it.
So you have one on, but imagine doing all of that.
Oh, wow.
And some persons actually want the gibbets that would have their initials, so you can clip those in. I usually glue those on. I don't adhere to where these holes are, depending on where the design is. So you'd clip that in.
Okay.
All right, turn it around. And you just continue to let the creativity flow. So, for example, when you look at this, there's a lot going on here. So one foot is actually blue, the other foot is actually pink.
Turn it this way so that they could see.
Okay.
Have a good look at the
So one blue foot, one pink foot. But this is all obviously a healthcare worker, so she has all of the stethoscope, the ambulance, and of course we have the patches of the nurse. And we have our blue theme here with the pearls, our pink here and our blue here. But the main theme here is in a gold motif. So you have a lot going on, but at the end of the day, when she walks around,
she's bedazzled.
She's bedazzled, and there's nobody else. And she wanted hers to say cute nurse. And that's and so each of the letters as well, depending on what you want, we're able to spell out the names using the letters, or we can go ahead and print them and then put them on the shoe as well.
Clementia, it's so great to have you joining us here in the Bahamas Tonight Access Now, and all the best to you in your business. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We still have more news to come, but Marcellus Hall has a look at what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in sports for tonight, the Bahamas Bowl makes its return to New Province after a year apart. We'll tell you all about it just ahead in sports.
Your center for savings this September? It can only be Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Best Value Whole Kernel Corn, 15 ounce, 99 cents. Cardinal Evaporated Milk, 14 ounce, 119. Pretty Lady Seedless Grapes, $3.99 per pound. Panama Raw Shrimp, $31.40, 1 pound, $5.99. Baby Back Ribs, $3.39 per pound. Remember to save this September at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Bulk up your business and communication with parents, students, and staff in seconds with a live business bulk SMS messaging. This is the perfect tool to keep you connected and easily send important updates, event reminders, and emergency alerts. Keep your campus informed and connected with bulk SMS messaging from a live business. The right choice for fast, reliable communication. For more information, contact the experts.
Well, welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. College football fans rejoice because the Bahamas Bowl is back. After a year away from New Providence, it has made its return. The official report coming yesterday that the Bahamas Bowl makes its return here to those shores, and certainly great news for college football fans as they look forward to that event, which will actually take place early next year at the 2020-25, early January. So looking forward to seeing exactly what's going to happen there. As y'all knows, we'll have that full story for you coming up a little bit later on. Now, moving on to some other news as Jonquel Jones and the New York Liberty back in action, trying to bounce back from a loss and doing just that, going up against the Washington Mystics. This one would be just what the doctor ordered. 87-71 ends up being your final score. Jonquel, pretty good night for her, played 24 minutes, finished up with 11 points, 5 rebounds, also had 5 assists on the evening. Pretty solid outing for her. They have one more game left on the regular season, and then it's time to gear up for the playoffs. They are one of the favorites to go ahead and win the WNBA title. We'll see if that happens, but of course, they still have to get by the rest of the regular season and the playoffs and see if that indeed does take place. Government League Basketball Championship set to begin tonight. That's going to be at the Donald Davis Gym. Police Crime Stoppers, they take on the Nassau Flight Service Ballers. That's going to be game 1 of their best-of-7 series. Game time is set for 8 p.m. And that's your check on sports for you here tonight. Of course, we do have our weather report just ahead of us. Stay with us.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucaya Shopping Center of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
Back to school, back to football, and back to super value and quality supermarkets for great savings like Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs, 14.5 ounces, $169. Pickwell tomato paste, 6 ounces, $109. Western canola oil, 48 ounces, $4.99. Sweet Gala apples, 3 for $1. Beef short ribs, $2.59 per pound. Remember to save this September at super value and quality supermarkets.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Communications section of the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training. Mathematics is a subject that for many comes with anxieties. A recent 10-year review of the results of the GLAT indicates a national underachievement in math. To improve the teaching and learning of math throughout the country, the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training recently signed an agreement with Sapphire Education and Communication Development Services, a Bahamian math consultancy firm. The firm will conduct a study over 1 year to discover the root of the challenges and to find necessary solutions. Every child deserves the best opportunities to excel. This public service announcement was brought to you by the Communications section of the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training.
It is time for our Access weather forecast and our live weather radar showing that pocket of rain showers and thunderstorms which move across the capital. Well, that's all moving towards the east and across the Eleuthera area. Outside of our studios, cloudy skies, temperature at 81 degrees, the relative humidity 85%. We have easterly winds at 3 miles per hour. Barometric pressure, 1,012.3 millibars. That is 29.89 inches. And your temperatures around the islands this evening, 82 degrees in Marshall, Babaco, Great Tool Key, and also in Freeport, Grand Bahama. The Berry Islands, 85. Allenstown, Bimini at 87. 84 degrees in Hopper Island. Roxanne, Eleuthera, 82. Fresh Creek, Central Andros, 81 degrees. We pick up some 84s in Kemps Bay, South Andros, and Black Point, Exuma, Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rumkey at 83 degrees. Georgetown, Exuma, 85 degrees. 84 in Ragged Island, Clarence, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands, Matchetown, Inagua, 87, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 85 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by a live business where you're always protected during the worst storms. So on the northwest and central islands through Friday, light and variable winds, flat seas, high tide 8:47 this evening, another high tide at 9:15 tomorrow morning. And for the southeast, Bahamas through Friday, southeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots to the wave height suitable. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. Going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But we take you right into the tropics. We still have the remnants of Gordon, which we anticipate will intensify again to tropical storm on Saturday, moving towards the north, so no problem with us here in the Bahamas. Satellite pictures showing lots of moisture associated with a mid to upper level trough, and that will continue to fire pockets of showers again tomorrow in the northwest and central islands. Rather cloudy tonight. Low temperature around 81 degrees, and tomorrow the cloudy conditions will continue with widely separated thunderstorms, particularly in the early morning and early afternoon hours with a high temperature of 90 degrees. Extended weather forecast, wet stuff was out right into Saturday. Sunday seems to be our best day. Get some more showers on Monday, but the skies will open up on Tuesday of next week. Hold on.
All right, thanks, Pastor. Well, there is a silver lining out there somewhere to let on.
Yes, and perhaps it's our social media segment. Here's Matea Cunningham with a look at what's trending.
Welcome to Let's Talk Socials. If you're all about the hottest trends and the freshest updates in the social media scene, you're in the right spot. Today, we're diving into the buzz around Instagram Threads. So, what's the deal with Threads? It's Instagram's brand new text-based app that's giving Twitter, now X, a run for its money. Think of it as your go-to for sharing quick thoughts, updates, and conversations with a closer circle. Here's the social tea. Threads is all about connecting on a personal level, moving beyond Instagram's usual photos and videos. Have you spotted those new text posts in a rounded box on Instagram lately? That's Threads making its debut. Who's the mind behind Threads? Is it Instagram? Perhaps Facebook? You may be wondering since you've probably seen them on both platforms. Well, it's Meta, the company that owns Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. And who knows, maybe we'll see Threads creatively integrated into WhatsApp pretty soon. While Instagram Threads is making waves, let's talk users and influencers. Are they going to jump ship for Threads? For those genuine interactions, or are they sticking with the main Instagram platform for its massive reach and beloved digital scrapbook feel? Can Threads become a powerhouse for building audiences, or will it fizzle out and die, like our beloved fallen apps, Kik, Tumblr, and MySpace? Will it become the next version of popular apps like TikTok? We want your take. Hit up our polls on Instagram at ZNS Digital and let us know what you think. Is Threads the next big thing for influencer engagement, or is it just another additional to the social media mix? I'm Matea Cunningham, and that's a wrap on Let's Talk Socials. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.
All right, pretty cool. All I know about thread is when you use a needle and that kind of stuff.
Do you know how to do it?
Thread or thread?
Threading the needle.
No, I don't know how to do that. So that's a wrap for us, LaDawn.
Yes, Marcel, there's another one in the history books.
All right, stay tuned for the rundown. Clint Watson, that's coming up next. Good night, everybody.
At Fort Montague, this is ZNS.
The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited.
Good evening and welcome to the show, everyone. A long-standing dispute between gas retailers and government now resolved. The Prime Minister this past Monday right here called it a win-win for both sides. Retailers get the long-awaited increase they've been lobbying for, claiming that without it, their businesses will close. On the other hand, with gas prices falling worldwide and here at home, Bahamians will reportedly not feel the increase. Well, following the Prime Minister's announcement here on the show on Monday, our Colville Pyfrom took to the streets for reaction. Take a look.
Prime Minister Philip Davis using his first live TV interview since taking office to announce Monday night that after years of back and forth, petroleum retailers are being given those long sought-after margin increases. 25 cents on fuel, a 15 cents hike for diesel. Mr. Davis quickly predicting, though, the impact to customers will be insignificant.
Well, the result is that there will be an increase in the margin, both for gasoline and gas and diesel, added to their margin, and it would not have, as I said, the deleterious effect on the Bahamian public as it would have done if we had done it much earlier.
The operators have long lamented that with profit margins unchanged, they were struggling to meet their financial obligations like paying staff, leaving the jobs of countless of workers in jeopardy. Some even feared that they would have to shut their operations down entirely. Simply put, these retailers say without this increase, they just couldn't make ends meet. Today, they were filled with gratitude for both the Prime Minister and their customers.
This margin increase is something that we think is livable and palatable for the motoring public, but also something that will give us the ability to feed our families, to look after our employees, and also to spend the time to try to improve our service level to the public, who are the reason why we can operate.
This is a happy day. We want to publicly thank the Prime Minister. Publicly thank him for all that he has done, all that they have done to make sure that this day happened.
I would like to add my thanks, especially to the motoring public who was for a lot of ups and downs with this situation with us.
The Prime Minister did not state when those increases will take effect. The retailers seem to think that they will happen in a matter of weeks. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfrom.
All right, well, joining me tonight to talk more about this issue is Vice President of the Bahamas Petroleum Retailers Association, Vasco Bastian, and former PLP Cabinet Minister Leslie Miller. Gentlemen, welcome to the Rundown. Good to have both of you.
Good night.
Pleasure to be here. I want to start with you, Vasco, because obviously this has been something that your association has been lobbying for some time. I remember covering this story and talking to you, and at some point you felt discouraged, like that wasn't going to happen. It's now going to happen. What say you about the Prime Minister's announcement on Monday?
Clint, I said it publicly yesterday, and I'll say it here on your show. We're elated. We're elated the fact that the Prime Minister has announced it. We are grateful to the Prime Minister and all that he's done to bring this matter to a close. I spoke with all other members of the association, our president, and everybody. We're extremely happy, and we're grateful and appreciative to the Prime Minister for what he's done.
Obviously, people are concerned that this is going to impact Bahamians, and I'll get to Mr. Miller in a second, who will express that concern in greater detail. But is this a matter of being needy or greedy?
It's a matter of being needy. The last time the Bahamas Petroleum Retailers Association got an increase was 13 years ago. We first started our engagement, our conversation with the Prime Minister when price of fuel was at $7.39. Fuel, as of today, is $5.35. There's been a $2.08 reduction in the cost of fuel. The trend in the global market in regards to crude oil, with gas and extraction from, continues to decline. When we first met with the Prime Minister, his major concern was the fact that the price at the current time was too high, and he didn't want to put that burden on the Bahamian people. And so we worked with the Prime Minister for the last 3 years, and he said he was going to do it when it became when he thought the timing was right. And we think now that the timing is right. So, you know, it's a win-win. Like I said, it's a win-win for everybody, and we're happy.
Mr. Miller, do you see it as a win-win for both sides?
You know, it disturbed me this morning when I read the newspapers. The big headlines, $1 a week more for most drivers. Now, they said they did a study for $20 a week. Name me one Bahamian you know who uses $20 a week gas for $20 a week. Can't happen. You know, the facts need to be told. The margins on gasoline now. Last year, the retailers margin was $36,379,812.96 on gasoline alone. On diesel, it was $22,214,617.92. That's a total of $58,495,430. That's the margin. Now, that don't include their costs. That's the margin. The biggest problem that I've seen when I was Minister of Trade and Industry, the problem is really not with the consumers in this country. The problem is between the retailers and their owners, who are the major distributors, Esso, Shell, and Texaco, or Rubis. They're the ones who control their destiny. Now, with this increase that they're going to get on the 1st of October, that's fine. The Prime Minister made that decision, the Cabinet did. We got to live with that. But when those new margins go into effect on the 1st, the next fiscal year, their profit, their new margin is going to increase to $86,297,032. Now, who gets most of that money? In the newspaper, this was the headline, eh? $1.20. Also, one of the majors say now they're coming for theirs. And they're going to get theirs. Theirs are probably going to be, I suspect, 10 cents on gasoline. What about 6 to 8 cents on diesel?
I don't know. I find it very amazing.
And they're going to pass it on to you all.
I find it so amazing that Mr. Miller always injects himself in this conversation with the government and retailers. You know, I see Mr. Miller with his numbers, but I tell Mr. Miller, I tell him this before, and I'll tell him this again. Those numbers that he quoted, we, the retailers, will not see the majority of them.
No,
he's speaking about gross numbers.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Mr. Miller's always been the friend of the poor, and most retailers in the last 15 and 20 years are poor people. So, you know, when he come and dispute these numbers, when he come and dispute his numbers, I'm very, very concerned.
No disputed numbers.
You know, I mean, you know, we have struggled in this industry for the last 15 to 20 years. The last time we got a margin increase was 13 years ago. Yes. The operating costs in the last 13 years has gone up 3 times. And you know, if Mr. Miller's going to be truthful, from all due respect, Mr. Miller, no.
The figures are lying?
One second.
No, you said
if Mr. Miller's going to be honest, we don't want Mr. Miller coming and condemning retailers. He should be on our side, trying to get us increased, trying to help us out.
So what are you saying? The numbers he's quoting.
That's the poor, yeah.
So what are you saying? The numbers he's quoting are correct, or are those numbers for your?
They are gross numbers that Mr. Miller may have. Those numbers don't trickle down to the average retailer. The average retailer continues to struggle. Thank God the Prime Minister saw fit to give us a 25-cent increase.
Have gas retailers made profit from the service?
The average gas station operator in this country hasn't made a profit in the last probably 6 to 7 years.
That's because the importers and distributors own them. They are renting, you know. That's what you need to understand. 90% of them are renting. So the guy got full control over them. I'll get them.
So come with us
then. Not to the detriment of the Bahamian people.
There's no detriment to the people. Come with us, Mr. Miller. Come with us and support us.
Let me ask you.
Come with us and lobby with us that we should own those sites eventually.
Let me ask you because
I didn't do it. I sure as hell can do it now.
So let me ask you, because obviously the concern is, will this trickle down to the Bahamian people, right? And if you're saying that 25% increase 25 cent increase on every dollar, right?
Not on every dollar, 25 cents on the average.
Every gallon.
Every gallon. So if you get how many? The average.
If gas is $5, gas $5, it goes to $5.25.
Right.
Puts it by $20. That's where the dollar comes from.
Right.
You know,
but the average person doesn't buy $20 gas.
You know that.
You would be amazed that the average person buys less than $20.
Not for the week.
And why is that? Are they buying less than 20 because they don't have the money to buy gas?
It's because the cost of gas was higher back then, but now you find that as gas decreased, people buy more. And
Okay.
so with the gas went down from $2, from $7.39 3 years ago, to now to $5.35. It's been a $2.08 reduction. So you find that people, it's simple economics, supply and demand, price. People tend to buy, when prices low, people buy more. And you find that the average payment buys anywhere between $15 to $25 probably every two days. You know.
So let me ask you, because with your increase, do you believe it will trickle and increase with others? For example, the wholesalers, people who sell you the gas are going to now ask for more.
Well, you know,
do you believe people who now have to, any business that uses gasoline are now going to go up on their price because they're saying, listen, gas is costing us more, so we're going to go up on our goods?
I can't speak for what the other business persons would do, but I can tell you one thing. If Mr. Miller has a point, as an issue in regards with wholesalers and issues with them, then he should speak to them directly and go and see them, and then he should join forces with us then. But you know, I'm not going to come on your show or any other show and get into a back and forth with wholesalers and what they do and how they go about asking them for their margin or all that other stuff. My concern has been for the last 3 years the struggle and the hardship that the average Bahamian retailer has endured in this country, in this industry. Mr. Miller, you could speak to that. I'm here to represent and speak for retailers in this country. We continue to employ people. We continue to make our contribution to the overall economy. We continue to be law-abiding citizens. We continue to do our part for the greater good of this country. So I'm not going to come here and discuss anything about wholesalers. I'm here to represent the interests of the Bahamian investors who have taken their hard-earned money and invested into the economy, and we employ, on average station, 25 to 30 persons per station. So if Mr. Miller wants to discuss Shell, Rubis, or Esso, what they do and what they're asking for, then he needs to make an appointment to go and see those persons. I'm not getting the back and forth clip on your show or any other show with Mr. Miller and that. But all I know, from where I sit, I'm an investor in this country. I'm a Bahamian business. I have a wife and a family and children, and Mr. Miller knows me, and he knows me well. And let me tell you something. I work hard in this industry to contribute to this industry, to build my business, and every businessman in this country. Mr. Miller is a businessman. You don't go in business to lose money. You go in the business to make a profit. Now, if Mr. Miller want to go into business and don't make a profit, then that's on him.
Why can't you admit that your problem is with the importer and distributor?
Let's take a pin right there. I want to go to a break. I'm going to come back and we'll pick it up from there. And I want you to explain to us what this 25 cents will do for your company, and is it enough, and how long do you believe it'll be able to sustain you? We'll do that after the break. Stay with us. You're watching The Rundown. We're back after this. Stay close.
That's the bearer of the Bahamas. I like to go down. Oh yeah.
JMC Bank, JMC TCI, and Sunset Village Fish Fry present I'm a Boatman, featuring KB and Fred, D-Mac, Tino D, Nishi Ellis, Sweet Emily, Wilfred Sullivan, Funky D, DVS, Veronica Bishop, Papa Smurf, Sherrod Taylor, Lil Joe Cartwright, Mama D, Colin McDonough, Chad Cully, and the VIP. And from Turks Island, the Proficient Band, and host Super P. There'll also be performances by The Swinger and the Platinum Nights Junkanoo Crew. Sunday, October 13th at Sunset Village Fish Fry, 8 Mile Rock. Pod sponsored by the Ministry for Grand Bahama and the Ministry of Tourism.
Welcome to our SBDC Business Tips, where we share valuable insights with small business owners. From practical advice to actionable tips, we're here to support you on your journey to success. As a small business owner, it is crucial to define your market. Conduct market research to determine who your ideal customers are, their demographics, and their buying habits. Knowing who your customers are helps tailor your products and services to their needs. This information will help you to create a targeted marketing campaign and improves your chances of success. We hope you find these business tips helpful. To help your business reach its full potential, visit SBDCBahamas.com or give us a call at 242-461-SBDC.
Welcome back to the Rundown. My guest is Vice President of the Retailers Association, Bahamas Petroleum Retailers Association, Mr. Vasco Bastian, and former PLP Cabinet Minister Leslie Miller, talking about the decision by Prime Minister to give the increased 25 cents on every gallon of gasoline, and of course an increase in diesel as well. And before the break, we were talking about it, and I wanted to find out this 25 cents. People are probably going to question how long will this satisfy? What will this be able to do for retailers?
I think this will put retailers to a position where they were about 10 years ago. We know that the cost of electricity, NIB, minimum wage, all went up during the last 13 years. And so this will now bring us back to a point, I think, where we can be profitable, but bearing in mind also to just predicting the future, the cost of crude oil, inflation and all this other stuff, but this will bring us back to where we were 10 years ago. 10 years ago, we were seeing a slight profit, and I think it should hold us for a while. There's no certainty in anything, but I think this 25 cents should be right to bring us right where we need to be.
Was this the right decision to make, Mr. Miller, by the Prime Minister?
The Davis administration made that decision. I think they felt the pain of the local retailers. My problem has never been to the retailers, it's Medicinal.
Right, okay.
The distributors and the importers control them and own them. They are renting 90% of their building. The landowner, that's the guy who made the investment. That's the one who controlled the shots. And what's going to happen now, when they meet with the government and the government giving them an increase, because they have to give them an increase. They always push the retailers on their folks to get theirs. Then the fellas say, hey, you forget me. Been about 10 years now for me. I need mine, or 10, 20 years. So they will come and they will get the increase. It's probably going to be I'd say between 10 to 15 cents on gasoline, and they'll probably get about 8 cents to 10 cents on the diesel. Now, when they get that, they're going to pass it on to them. So his margin's going to be cut right away, and he knows that.
Any issue,
it's going to be cut.
I can't speak for what the wholesalers will do. I am hoping that they won't go that route, but I believe that the Davis administration and Mr. Miller, he's welcome to join us.
I know Minister.
You're lobbying that they don't get an increase right now.
I'm not saying anything about that. We went to the Prime Minister and we spoke on our behalf as retailers. If the wholesalers want 5 cents, 10 cents, 25, whatever they want, then they need to make their case to the Prime Minister.
If they're given an increase, will that impact you with the 25 cent increase?
I mean, definitely will impact us, but it would impact us significantly. But I mean, I can't speak to. I can't speak to them. It would impact them, their bottom line. Whereas if they don't get an increase, they might try to wriggle their way into our 25 cents. That's a whole different issue.
Right.
But my whole thing has always been this: if the Mr. Miller, the former Minister of Trade and Investment, is I apologize. If he is so concerned about these Bahamian investors and these retailers, then join our cause. Join our cause in ensuring that these wholesalers, be it Rubus, Shell, or Esso, don't tap into this 25 cents with the government. He said he's a friend of the poor, you know. He's always told me that he's a friend of the poor. If he is a friend of the poor, then I expect Leslie O. Miller, the former Minister of Trade and Industry, to be on the side of the retailers and not speaking out against retailers. He's a statesman in this country, elder statesman. This is a big court case.
You're all one and the same.
And see, that's where this is where I have a problem with Mr. Miller.
Yeah.
Mr. Miller, Mr. Miller,
they control you.
Mr. Miller, well, Mr. Miller, the only person that controls us is God. No one controls us.
I ain't talking about God.
The wholesalers has their place and they have their influence, but they don't control any retailers. Yes, a lot of us are in contractual agreement with them. Right. Yes, a lot of us the real estate are owned by them. We also have some independence. But that's a whole issue, and that's a whole issue, and that's a whole different subject matter for a different day. I am here to tell the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Philip Brave Davis, thank you, sir. Thank you for having the know-how and the way having the courage to help young Bahamians who are struggling in the petroleum industry. I'm not here to debate anything in between wholesalers, retailers, and Mr. Miller and his opinions.
Mr. Miller, what would be your solution to this, to something that's been a decades-old issue and concern, being able to balance, find a strike of balance? What would your solution be?
First and foremost, let me give you a situation that happened while I was Minister of Trade and Industry. We did a study. Mr. Deal and the others who were there, very intelligent people and knew their business. We compared places like Barbados, Jamaica, Trinidad, some of the other countries that's bigger than the Bahamas, some smaller. Barbados was the one almost on par with us, okay? The gas station of the 6-lane roundabout, that's S or Rubus, whatever the hell it is. Mr. Knowles was running that station. Irvin Knowles' brother, God bless him, running that station. He got out of the business because the exorbitant monthly fee that he was paying was less than half of what the guys in Barbados was paying. And I met with them and I said, listen, man, this can't happen in the Bahamas. The fellow over there paying $18,000, the guy here paying $38,000. What's your problem? And I started raising them and I stopped giving them the margins. When the margins came up, in fact, when they bought in their wholesale barges with the fuel, we realized that some cheating was going on. Okay? They were playing games with the paperwork. And many times I refused to give them the increase that they wanted. They went to the PM, and of course, after putting pressure on him, he moved me and sent me to agriculture. That was fine. Didn't matter to me. But I work for the people. People, they can move me anywhere. That's why I call myself pot cake. They don't love me. They only know me when they need me. That's the story of my life politically. But that's fine. That's fine. But the problem they have always had, the government needs to sit with the importers and distributors. They own the station. Why is it that the overhead expense is so high? Why is it that you get such a big cut and charge them exorbitant rents when in the rest of the Caribbean you're not doing so? Why is that? Why is it that you get a major portion of the food that they sell in those stores? Why is it that you also charge them a fee for their name that they're using it? It's their establishment, and yet you're paying a royalty.
Yeah, royalty.
They're the things that you're paying royalty for the name.
We're paying royalty.
Plus, you're paying a fee for the food you're selling in the food.
Yeah, we paid royalty and yeah, you know. No, Mr. Miller.
They are the issues
Clint,
that cause the price to be so high.
Clint, Mr. Miller's onto something, but I'm not
here.
I understand. I'm not here to discuss that.
It's good to just sit there. Don't say about. Let him talk for you in that regard.
If Mr. Miller wants to take on that,
I ain't taking it on.
Take on that charge.
I speak for the basic people.
He's more than welcome to take on that charge.
I
am here to speak on behalf of the Bahamas Petroleum Retail Association. I'm here to say thank you again to the Prime Minister for what he's done in his cabinet, Simon Wilson and Michael Keatis, what they've done for us. It's been a long, challenging road.
Let me ask you, Mr. Bassett, are you concerned about the emergence of electrical vehicles?
Not at all. Not at all.
Because it cuts you out altogether.
Not at all. We did a study recently, early last year, and I think less than 1.2% of vehicles on the street are EVs. We're not concerned about electric vehicles.
Now, I hope your study didn't coincide with this study where you say the average people spend $20 a week on gas.
We did a whole study. We're not concerned about that. You know, a lot of EV vehicles, to replace those batteries,
very expensive.
Very expensive. Combustion, more, in some cases, in some vehicles, more than that. Combustion engines are going to be around for a very long time. So that, you know, it's like a new trend. You know what I mean? It's a new trend, EVs, and everybody says, oh, I'm going to get me an EV.
Well, the big one is on the way, right there on Howard Road. The big one is coming soon. Very soon. There'll be plenty of competition.
I'm going to give you the final words. I'll give you the last word, but Ms. Miller, I'll give you the word. What do you think going forward consumers should be concerned about, and what should they do to be able to ensure that they're able to thrive and survive in this time?
Listen, the cost of everything in this country has gone up, eh? After COVID, I'm convinced that all the manufacturers and distributors got together and decided they're just going to take advantage of the poor consumers around the world, including the Bahamas. But you know what's going to happen in this situation with these price increases? May not be large in someone's mind, but what's going to happen to the Jitney driver who uses about 150 gallons a week? His cost is going up by $37.50. What's going to happen to the truckers, the big guys that deliver the sand, the cement, and everything else? That's going to go up by $25 a week. The containers, when they go to Rupert Roberts and other people, that's going to go by at least another $25 for each one of those vehicles a week. What's going to go with the taxi drivers? If they use about 50 gallons a week, that's another $25. The school buses, that's another, what, at least $20. And the contractors who are going to work. I'm just saying that this goes through the entire community. The economy is going to be touched by this. I'm not saying if it's right or wrong. I'm saying any burden that is placed on the backs of people should try to lift it instead of adding on to it. I still believe that the distributors and importers are the ones who caused this problem. Now they're going to step to the plate and get theirs. And that's going to be another burden on the backs, not of us, but on them. The importers, the retailers now going to feel the pain, and within a year to two, if things keep trying to be, they're going to come back for more. That's all I'm saying. We have to have a level playing field that the Bahamian people are the beneficiaries and not the few, whoever those few are.
Thank you. Mr. Bison, you have the last word.
I'm gonna end on how I started. Philip Brave Davis heard the cry of the retailers, and he did the right thing. He's a brave man. He is a good man. We appreciate him. I also want to take this opportunity to extend the olive branch to Leslie O'Miller. Leslie O'Miller, the former Minister of Trade and Investment or Industry. I want him to stand with retailers going forward to ensure that that 25 cents that we get is not taken away from us. If he claims to be the friend of the poor and the pot cake and the big pot cake, well, let's big pot cake and let's baby pot cake. Stand with us to make sure that Bahamian businesses in the petroleum industry can survive and continue to operate at a profit. So I extend my hand. I extend my.
You remember I was trying to do that?
Well, let's do it.
Remember I was trying to do that?
This year, live on the rundown.
We had one meeting.
Big pot cake and baby pot cake will join forces to make sure that we maintain our 25 cents.
Well, I support you. This pit bull supports you. Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen, for being on the show. Still to count, we have a story of an unsung hero. She is being called the Rosa Parks of disability rights in the Bahamas after she risked everything, including her job, to stand up. It's a story you don't want to miss. We're back after this. Stay with us.
That's the bear of the Bahamas. I like to go down. Oh yeah.
JMC TCI and Sunset Village Fish Fry present I'm a Boatman, featuring Katie and Fred, D-Mac, Tino D, Nishi LS, Sweet Emily, Wilfred Sullivan, Funky D, DVS, Veronica Bishop, Papa Smurf, Sherrod Taylor, Lil Joe Cartwright, Mama D, Colin McDonough, Chad Cully and the VIP, and from Turks Island, the Proficient Band, and host Super P. There'll also be performances by The Swinger and the Platinum Nights Junkanoo Group. Sunday, October 13th at Sunset Village Fish Fry, 8 Mile Rock.
Sponsored by the Ministry of Grand Bahama and the Ministry of Tourism.
Covering the news seems easy, but we put thought into what we're doing. The Bahamas Tonight Access Now, here to inform, educate, and entertain. A new type of newscast featuring social media trends, news from around the islands, interviews with the people you like, sports, weather, and fabulous entertainment. That's a Bahamas Tonight Access Now with Marcellus Hall and LaDon Davis. Live, starting September 16th.
That's the bear of the Bahamas. I like to go down. Oh yeah.
It's time to grow your church. Time to extend your message to all the islands in the Bahamas. into the Turks and Caicos Islands, and to the world via the ZNS app and website. It's time to broadcast your church's services on ZNS TV. To help you with that, ZNS has some exciting new packages with very good prices. It's time to call 502-3813 for details.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Beginning Monday, September 16th, it's the new lineup of ZNS News and Current Affairs, 6 p.m. It's What's Trending, Lifestyles in the Afternoon with Stacey Campbell Marshall, 6:30. We head to the north for the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition, 7 p.m. It's the Bahamas Tonight National Report, followed by the Bahamas Tonight Access, now at 7:30. Then at 8 p.m., your nightly news analysis show, The Rundown, with Clint Watson, and 11 p.m., the Bahamas Tonight at 11 with Royston Jones. It's a full lineup of the new ZNS, and it starts Monday, September 16th. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back to The Rundown. This story particularly, I believe, will change the nation when you hear it. Her story has not been heard nationally, but it's in her death that many will get to know of her national sacrifice. Dr. Coraline Hanna died last Friday at the age of 90. To say she lived a full life is an understatement. You see, she was a legend, a woman who made incredible sacrifices, and a woman who literally birthed the fight for persons living with disabilities in the Bahamas. We're going to hear more about her cause and her fight tonight. Joining me tonight is her niece, Debbie Hanna, and mentee, past president of the Bahamas National Council for Disability, and I say activist for disability, Sheila Culmer. Ladies, welcome to the show. So great to have such amazing women, Bahamian women here tonight.
Good evening.
Thank you.
I'm going to be frank.
Thank you for having me.
Up until today, I never heard of this name.
Really?
Never knew about this woman.
Wow.
But a phone call changed my life, I think, today forever. Received a call from Miss Sheila Culmer telling me, do you know a woman by the name of Dr. Coraline Hanna? No, I don't. She said, you don't know her? She was the woman that started the fight for disability, persons with disabilities in this country. And when I heard the story and she told me about you, the niece, and I heard your story, I just knew we had to share this with the nation tonight. So begin, first of all, Debbie, in telling me, Dr. Coraline Hanna, how did she get involved in disability? Tell us that story.
Okay, it started for her. She always claimed that the Lord wasted no time in telling her or giving her her purpose in life. The very first hour of the very first day of the very first job, she said she knew. And what had happened that day was she was a school teacher. She was 16, and so we're talking 1950. So she went into the classroom, and she thought, well, she was about the same age as the children that she was teaching. So she thought, well, okay, she's going to get things sorted out so that they know, so they knew the rules and the regulations and set things up. So she reached the part of hygiene. And she told them, well, you got to clean your shoes. And the headmaster, who was in the room, seeing that this was her first day, said, put a pin there. All the children, because they used to use the big benches, the 6-foot benches, say, come out in the front, line up. And when they did that, she noticed that the majority of them had no shoes. And here she is talking about cleaning your shoes. So she said, well, she said all of a sudden she felt like a blow to her gut. And when she turned around, because she felt it weeping, she felt like the tears. And when she turned around, the headmaster took over the class. And when she turned around, she realized that the Lord just gave her her purpose in life. And that purpose in life was to ensure that children in the Bahamas would not, that she would do something in terms of them not having shoes, not having uniforms, and that was the birthing of school welfare.
Wow.
Now, she always considered welfare as a part of disability, just like speech, because you could be disabled in your finances. And so that was the beginning of her purpose.
How did she get involved in disability?
Now, that is disability. The lack of welfare is a part of disability. But to move further, when she, as the school teacher, now she's teaching, and when the children didn't come to school, she would get on her bicycle and she would go to their homes. And in their homes, she saw that there were children, crippled, dumb, deaf, and when she had spoken to the parents, let's say in the PTA meetings and stuff, they never mentioned these children.
So parents would only identify children who, in their words, were normal?
Yes.
They would never identify they had a child at home who had a disability?
No.
Why?
Well, in those days, parents thought that it was a curse.
Wow.
That they did something wrong, and God, this is punishment for the something wrong that they did.
Really?
And they also believe, coming from the UBP days, they also believe that disability was inherited. And so to have disabled persons in the society would cause the society to be downgraded, because you would have many more, they would marry, and once they marry and once they have children and stuff like that, then you would have many more disabled persons within the society. So they wanted them to, if they were born disabled, okay, they live at home, they die at home, and then that's the end of them. They don't mix. And her whole thing was that, listen, these children, they're deaf, but they can learn. They can't speak, but they can learn. There's nothing wrong with their brain. You have those who have slow learners, but they can learn as well.
So she was willing to be the advocate to fight for these children be included?
Yes, her whole thing was access. Access to the community, access that they would be able to gain from the community, they would be able to contribute to the community, and they would find their purpose, and they would be able to use and live by whatever potential they had, that they would maximize.
You told me that she even gave up her job. She was told to choose if she was going to follow this path, whether she would stay on the job or not.
Yeah, that happened a little later, because what happened was, after she found that these children were at home, then she pursued to get these children in school. And that meant that the Education Act did not allow these children to go to school. So that would have had to change. No school wanted them.
Wow.
And so she was able to do a pilot program in one of the schools, and that's how it was introduced into the schools. Now, moving forward, when she wanted to make this a national thing. She didn't know quite how to do that. At that time, the women's suffrage movement was going on. And the women's suffrage movement was that women could now vote. Men who didn't have land could now vote, that they weren't able to vote before. So she went and she said, okay, the only way she's going to do this is to make it big. She's going to go to the party that was trying to come on board and the majority rule, which was the PLP. And this is prior to Pinlin being in the PLP.
Right.
So this was Cartwright.
Mark Cartwright.
And he had a magazine. She used to ghostwrite for him. And then Pinlin came on. Pinlin is a friend from East Street days. You know, his father had the store on East Street, and so she knew him. And so she said, make me a deal, and I will help you to win this election. And the deal is that she would canvass for him and go into these homes, and she would bring these people who have special needs, she will bring them out to vote for the first time.
So she was the one to get these people with special needs to vote? To vote.
And so she went and she canvassed a local company that had a bus, and so she would bus them in. She went and she was able to get an ambulance, you know, to help her with those who needed ambulance service.
I want to bring Ms. Comer in here because I want us to run out of time. You knew this story.
A bit of it, yes. Yes.
We associate disabilities, a lot of us, modern day society people, with your fight and your cause. But here is a woman before you came on the scene who was doing this.
Yes, well, Dr. Hannah, deceased, 90. I'm 78, so she was before my time.
Wow.
I refer to Dr. Carolyn Hannah as my mentor. When I was finished with Teachers College back in, I think it was what, 60, 64, 65, Dr. Hannah had been making all these innuendos and lobbying with the government to try to get disabled persons on board in school. And as Debbie has said, she fought to have them included in the Education Act because there was no room for them. Okay, after I finished with Bahamas Teachers College, Dr. Hannah started an evening program. It lasted, what, about 8 weeks. And it was called Remedial Education. And she was running that course for teachers who might have been interested in working with slow learners.
I want to pause right there. I'm going to let you pick up right there when we go to a break. Let's go to a break and we'll come back and and finish this phenomenal story. We're back after this. Stay close.
JMC TCI and Sunset Village Fish Fry present I'm a Boatman, featuring Katie and Fred, D-Mac, Tino D, Nishi LS, Sweet Emily, Wilfred Sullivan, Funky D, DVS, Veronica Bishop, Papa Smurf, Sherrod Taylor, Lil Joe Cartwright, Mama D, Colin McDonough, Chad Cully, and the VIP. And from Turks Island, the Proficient Band, and host Super P. There'll also be performances by The Swinger and the Platinum Nights Junkanoo Group. Sunday, October 13th at Sunset Village Fish Fry, 8 Mile Rock.
Sponsored by the Ministry of Grand Bahama and the Ministry of Tourism.
Welcome to our SBDC Business Tips, where we share valuable insights with small business owners. From practical advice to actionable tips, we're here to support you on your journey to success. Build a strong brand. Building a strong brand is crucial for long-term success in today's competitive business landscape. Your brand is more than just a logo. It's the essence of your business. Invest time and effort into developing a strong brand identity that reflects your values, mission, and personality. A strong brand can help you to stand out in a crowded market, build trust with your customers, and foster a long-term relationship that drives business success. We hope you find these business tips helpful. To help your business reach its full potential, visit SBDCBahamas.com or give us a call at 242-461-SBDC.
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Welcome back to The Rundown. We're talking about the life and legacy of Dr. Coraline Hanna. I call her the Rosa Parks of disability, with her niece Debbie Hanna, and of course activist in disability Sheila Culmer. This is a woman many people didn't know about. Many of you may be learning about her for the first time tonight. She passed away last week Friday at the age of 90. She fought and paved the way for disabilities in this country, for persons with disabilities to have access to education, to have access to jobs, and to have their rights upheld. A phenomenal woman, and I am just amazed that I'm just learning about her today. You were talking about, Ms. Sheila Culmer, when you went to Office Teachers College and how you got involved in the fight with Dr. Coraline Hanna.
Yes.
You see her as a hero for disability rights.
Yes. I feel that if it were not for Dr. Hanna, we probably wouldn't be where we are today in terms of education and training for persons with disabilities. And I mean, this is not a part of the show, but I may not have a chance to say it again. We really need to focus on the disabled and go back into history, because a whole lot of the history of education and training for persons with disability, they're not being told. We're just hearing, you know, they're almost arrived, if you could consider them as being arrived. But Dr. Hanna, when she introduced this program for remedial education, I enrolled in the program. Okay, at that time, you had a group of private citizens who was providing education for their children. Now, I'm gonna get in trouble. When I started out 50 plus years ago, I knew them as mentally retarded.
That's what they called them.
That's what I knew them as, but I'm being told that that's not correct, but that's what I know them as. And the Bahamas Association for the Mentally Retarded came out of this group there were 6 parents. One person that I know that is still alive today, Mrs. Gwen McDigan, she had a special child, and she was amongst those. The Bahamas Association for the Mentally Retarded, they had some connection with the Caribbean, with other Caribbean countries who had special children, and they used to have a special program every summer. So, after Dr. Hanna found out about this program, and she had met me, at the time I had gone to William Phipps School, primary school. Many of you don't know about William Phipps Primary School. It no longer exists.
I remember hearing it.
Okay. She approached me asking me if I would be interested. I had never seen a so-called mentally retarded person, a slow learner or anything, a special child. I told her, okay, because I used to do PE at William Phipps Primary School, and I used to get an allowance. But after Dr. Hanna told me that I would get a bigger allowance, that led me to it. So I went. And she got permission from the association to include a government school teacher, which was me. And I went. But the whole thing was I would have to agree to go to Stapleton School. All right, I went to Stapleton School. And it was there that along with Dr. Hannah, the fight started. You see, Dr. Hannah was the brain box. She had all these ideas. I was just merely a teacher. She was, I think, an assistant director at the time. But, you know, I guess Dr. Hannah, how do I describe her? She was an easygoing person. She worked quietly behind the scene. But if I saw something that I didn't like, I didn't even have to speak about it. You just had to look at my face and you knew. Okay, so that is where the push started. And like I say, Dr. Hannah, she was my mentor. I learned so much from her, and I personally don't feel that the Bahamas has done her justice. I have awards. I got the awards. She brought me in. Wow. But Dr. Hannah was a great person. And that is why after, let's see, she's been dead almost a week. And I haven't seen her name in the news or anything like that. What is happening? Dr. Hannah was a great person.
Let me ask you as we get ready to close, Ms. Debbie, how do you feel as though she has not gotten her just reward for what she's done here, locally in the Bahamas?
No, not at all. And just to mention some of what she has done is she brought to the Bahamas from her own time, not paid by government. And she started school welfare. She started school psychological services. She started special education.
Wow.
She started speech therapy. She started, I mean, there's
a group that keeps escaping me, the boys group.
Program.
Yeah, she
started Program Sure.
Yes, she started Program Sure.
Wow.
She wrote the program. She was the first one writing the program, and then she had another person who came in to assist her. And so they co-hosted. She did the hospital school because there were children in hospital for long periods of time that weren't being educated.
Wow.
So she did a school there. And there's so many other things that she introduced, you know, in order to better serve those persons with disabilities. And I have found that over the years, there are many persons who would like to rewrite history as to say, well, they did a lot of these things. Wow. And not give her due. But she was a very quiet person. Her personality was not one where give me awards, give me awards, give me awards.
She didn't ask for the accolades.
No, her personality was things have to be done. And if it's not me who do it, then who? You know, so let me get busy and let me do it. And let me set up the programs, let the programs go on.
Dr. Coraline Hannah, remember that name? Dr. Coraline Hannah, a Bahamian woman who fought for the rights of those who couldn't fight for themselves. And today, legislation, today, institutions, today, success stories all stand on her shoulder. I learned about this woman today for the first time in my 49 years of being on this earth. And I surely, after hearing the story, I'm grateful to women like Dr. Coraline Hannah, who made a difference in our Bahamas. We know the stories of so many other foreigners or from other countries who have done it. We all know Rosa Parks. We all know Dr. Martin Luther King. We can name the names of great Americans. Can we do the same about Bahamians who have sacrificed their very life so that we can indeed have some freedoms and rights today? So on this day, I take the time on the rundown here at the Broadcasting Corporation to salute one Dr. Coralyn Hanna for her fight in disabilities in this country. May her soul rest in peace. Ladies, thank you so much for sharing the story and for picking up the phone and calling me today and changing the rest of my life by this story.
I'm glad I met her, and like I spent some 30-odd years at Stapleton School, and it was because of Dr. Coralyn Hanna.
May our legacy continue. Thank you. Thank you, Debbie, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
The rundown is brought to you by Jamaica Bahama Imports Collect, the I Am a Boatman concert with KB and Friends, CBS, Little Caesars Pizza, Ace Hardware, the Small Business Development Center, and of course, Bamboo Shack Express. Thanks so much for joining us. We invite you back here tomorrow night. The Commissioner of Police will be here. We're talking about everything that have to do with crime and the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Don't forget to join us for Bahamas Tonight at 11 with Royston Jones tonight at 11 o'clock. For all of us here at ZNS, I'm Clint Watson. Thanks for joining us. Good night. At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
The Bahamian economy is evolving, and with it,